Well, hello everyone, and welcome to PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, episode 193. We are going to be currently streaming here to the cloud or to YouTube, and you can always find us at iFlyParamotors.com. Welcome everybody. Look at this huge group we got going on over here. We have a bunch of people in the chat. Hello to Kramer, Daniel Roosh. Hey, guess what? He's actually over here too. Butch Fly, Tony Marzano, Angela Preslick. We got, well, Butch Fly has been talking a lot. Hey, I've been talking a lot. We all been talking a lot. Scuba Steve, Tony Marzano, Will H, Bill H, Will Fly. Actually, I heard that Will Fly is indisposed, and some gravedigger is taking his place under Will Fly here. I don't know. We'll find out here in just a moment. We got Munchkin in the house. Kramer again, 555. We got a whole bunch of people, and John Wayne is presenting himself to this amazing chat again. He also helps us out over here. He is a sponsor, so shout out to you, Mr. John Wayne. Welcome everybody. This is Sean Simons, PPG Grandpa, over at PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, episode 193, season 4, going to be season 5 here in a couple months. Unbelievable. We got the incredible Larry Shumard. Dude, you have been flying for such a long time, and one of the cool things that we're going to be talking about in just a moment, don't go nowhere, is you actually flew over the space shuttle. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. We're going to talk about this in just a little bit. We're going to say hello to our very own Supergirl. She flew in today. Don't forget to unmute yourself, Supergirl, so you can tell us some really cool stuff about your
flight. Sorry. Yeah, I did. I flew in. Welcome, chatters. Welcome, viewers. It's a Monday night, and it's pre-Halloween night. So we all decided to, I said, y'all got to dress up tonight. So I flew in at the last minute in my Supergirl, because I'm Supergirl tonight. And look, my phone's already going off. Oh, it's her. It's Supergirl. But welcome, everybody. Sit back, enjoy the show. Thank you, chatters, for joining us. I love you bunches and my viewers. And yeah, that's all I have to say for right now, because we got a big show tonight with Larry here. So y'all are going to love it.
All I can say is yeehaw! We also got our very own Butch Fly, or maybe he's just doing the peace thing tonight. How you doing, Mr. Butch Fly?
Oh, doing great, man. Doing great. Enjoying life and loving it.
I'm digging the hair, man. What, transplants or something?
Yeah, no, I'm a hippie, man.
So you really
First time in 15 years I've had long hair.
You should be really careful about that when you're flying your paramotor, get caught in that prop behind you.
No doubt.
Well, we're so happy that you're here, Mr. Butch Fly. We also got Scuba Steve. Whoa, it ain't Scuba Steve. Who is this?
I am the PPG demon.
PPG Darth Maul.
I was thinking something like a Sith Lord, but okay, we'll do the PPG demon thing. Hey, he's a ventriloquist. Notice how he said that? I am a PPG demon.
I just posted a video on my first trike flight. If y'all haven't seen that, go check it out. I was flying with John French, John Hawkins, Ty Hardcastle, I think his name is, and who else? I always forget his name. Nate Gill. There you go. I finally got his name out. I forgot about Nate.
Yeah, we
had a great time.
We need to get you back on the show for that interesting landing.
It was a sketchy landing. I earned my risky biscuit hat with that thing right there.
Well, you know, if you would have hit it, you probably could have been inducted into the bad apple. So you're right there, man, right there.
No, I don't want to hit it. If I hit it, I would have had to quit it. I'm just saying.
Oh man, the devil's hitting it and quitting it. All right, listen, we better move on before we get ourselves in trouble. We also got our very own Kevin Houston. What's up? Hey, you're a fellow cowboy. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. How's
Howdy,
everybody?
partner. I mean, hardy partner. That's it.
There you go.
So how's the weather over there? How you doing? You riding your horses or you're flying a paramotor?
Well, neither actually. Worked all weekend, and it's cold and rainy and nasty out. So that's no fun.
Mm-mm. No.
Hard inspecting stuff in the
Hey,
rain.
people in chat, that really is a hat. It's not a filter, just so y'all know. See, he can actually
is a
take it
hat.
off. It looks like a filter, but it's not.
Yep, it is a real hat.
Man, that's really bad when your hat looks like a filter.
It doesn't even look like it's connected to his head. Does he have
No,
it
it doesn't. That's
hat on
crazy.
backwards? Tell me you don't have the hat on backwards.
I think it
No.
looks great.
That's the back.
All right.
If you say so, okay.
All
I
right.
was
if you say
born.
so.
I was born in a cowboy hat.
I feel sorry for the
That's like-
mama.
That's
All right, so we're gonna
She
run
was
over.
probably tickled to death.
Yeah.
All
That's a
right,
very
let's
rough
go over ahead
hat.
and go down to the Will Fly slot that apparently Will Fly's in the background. He's a little scary thing in the back there. But what is this right here? Who are you, sir?
Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm not Will Fly. Yes, Will told me to tell you all hello, and he could be here. He did have an awesome time this past weekend hanging out with his buds in Tennessee, and got to experience a new LZ and got it just in time too, just before the cold weather is setting in. So it's
Excellent.
going to be a great show tonight. Really appreciate Larry spending the time with us, and Dan
Hey,
jumping
Glad to be
in.
here.
Hello, chatters.
All right. And
Hey.
Will Fly
Hey,
is going to be
Larry.
doing the spinny wheel of winning things tonight. So make sure that you at Will Fly, even though it's not really Will Fly, it's some sort of skull guy. He can put you on the spinning wheel of winning things. We also got Daniel Roosh. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
You look kind of scary there. What you supposed to be tonight?
I figured I just wear my normal costume since no one's seen me.
Digging the beard, man. Digging the beard. So you fly paramotors too, right, Daniel?
Oh yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Larry was actually my instructor.
Yeah, he told us about that. So we're going to definitely have to ask you a couple questions about Larry, the instructor. But welcome everybody once again. It's not about us. It's not about the panel. Tonight is always only about Larry. And Larry is an amazing guy. One of the things that we're going to be talking about is that he flew over the space shuttle. We're going to talk about that later. So hold that thought. But he's been flying fixed wing. He has his private pilot's license since 87 or 88. I think it's 87. Is that what we finally decided? 87. 87.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still in high school. Don't tell nobody. But yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome. And you've been a skydiver. You ran a skydiving from what, 93 to 2005. You took a hiatus, went back for some more time, been flying paramotors. Dude, this is going to be an amazing show tonight. Larry, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
I am ready to learn more about you. So for those of you out there that don't know Larry, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into paramotoring?
Well, let me tell you, I had made, I started with skydiving kind of by accident, not really, but I went to a skydiving place because I wanted to get some hours, to maybe move up the ladder, and started flying skydivers. And the first time I saw the door come open and people leave the airplane, I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to do this, so I did it twice that summer. And the next summer I owned a skydiving school. So I kind of bit off a lot more than I could chew, but I made it work. And so throughout my entire skydiving career, clear through about 2018, I stopped jumping. I made about 5,500 skydives. The problem with skydiving is when it comes to the parachute, you get 3 or 4 minutes. That's it. You're done. You're back on the ground. You got to spend 20 minutes repacking it, 30 minutes back up to the top, and then you get 3 or 4 minutes under the parachute. Well, that didn't make much sense to me. I'd seen the paramotors. I'd seen guys flying powered parachute or powered parachutes, you know, but not powered paragliders. And 3 or 4 years ago, no kidding, saw an ad on Facebook, 2 paramotors for sale. I bought them. They were crap. They were junk. But I kind of got a taste of what was going on. I never flew either one of them. Bought a brand new Monster, you know, and an older wing, and you know, and I've been flying ever since. You know, I haven't looked at my logbook in a long time, but well over 100 hours of flight time on the paramotors. Now I can say this: I've skydived from a lot of cool different aircraft. I've flown a lot of cool different aircraft. I have a airline transport pilot rating. I've flown jets, flown corporate. I've flown air ambulance. I've flown charter. Taking off in my front yard here in South Carolina and flying around for a half an hour is cooler than all of that stuff. It really is, you know. So
I think all paramotor pilots that fly fixed wing or other things say the same thing.
yeah. I wanted to get in the air under the parachute, under the wing, and stay up for 2 hours. You know, Dan and I did a flight a couple summers ago. I have a trike, and we went out, flew out over the Snake River for, I don't know, a couple hours, and, you know, just up and down the Snake River and looking at stuff, and it just spectacular. Plus, you know, we had comms, and, you know, I'm gonna hang Dan out here. Every time I fly with him, he's got to land and pee. I don't know what his problem is, man.
Just like
I'm
a
just
woman.
practicing
What the
for when
hell?
I get old.
I mean, it happens to all of us, but I really rag him on it, you know. But no, it's kind of funny. But yeah, you know, just getting up in the air and being able to spend a couple hours, you know. I mean, yeah, the underneath the parachute after a skydive is obviously much more quiet. But yeah, there's been times when I've shut the motor down and, you know, just kind of glide around, and, you know, that's what I was talking about, electric start. Nice to hit that button and get back at it, you know. So yeah, I of all of the flying that I've done, and I've done some really cool stuff, paramotoring is at the top, man. It really is.
I know that a lot of people have a question about this, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it right now. Is there any translation from doing 5,500 flights, or I guess jumps, I guess we call them when you skydive? Jumps.
Skydive. Yeah.
Okay, skydive. To paramotoring. I mean, does it transfer over? I mean, is it really easy to go from skydiving to paramotoring or paragliding?
No. It would seem like it would be. And me being a type A personality that I am, and pilot, mechanic background, I thought I was just going to buy a paramotor, throw it on my back, and, you know, let's go fly. Pretty simple stuff, right? That is a ridiculous idea. 5,500 skydives gave me a lot of parachute flying background, gave me a lot of aviation background and aeronautical knowledge. However, getting a wing in the air with a rig on your back has nothing to do with skydiving at all. And I ate a lot of humble pie until I got in the air, and I was 95% self-trained. But to give you the basic answer, the knowledge that you gain from flying a parachute and flying in different air and different temperatures and different places, yes, that does translate over to flying paramotors, but you still got to get that thing in the air, and that has nothing to do with skydiving.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah. I got humbled badly.
And
Very
you said
badly.
that back in the day. So actually, when was it that you actually started doing paramotor? What year was that?
2000.
2000?
2020.
Oh,
Okay,
I was
20.
like, that go, man.
No. So here's what happened. I went to Salton
Okay.
Sea, had this brand new rig. I had an old Blackhawk wing. What wing was that, Dan? You remember? That's the one you soloed on.
That was the Velocity.
velocity. Okay. So I'm down there at Salton Sea and I got this brand new rig and everything's, I'm all hooked up and I'm running around in the sand and not getting in the air. And some nice guy named Marty walks over and he says, "Have you flown?" I said, "No." And he says, "You're really close. What kind of training have you had?" And I told him, essentially none, kiting. And he says, "Yeah, it looks like you can kite okay, but you're just not, you're missing like one or two little things." And within 15 minutes, I'm out cruising at 6 feet over the Salton Sea beach, So Marty's my man. He got me in the air and he's actually stopped through Idaho and flown with me. And, I keep up with him on Facebook once in a while, but yeah, it was difficult because I had to unlearn a lot of things. I know that sounds weird, but I really did. I had a lot of knowledge in other areas that I thought applied and it didn't really apply. So landing, not a problem. Getting off the ground, tough as hell.
But you have a 100% chance of landing though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've never got stuck up there once.
Not if you get stuck in a tree, but I'm just.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something that as far as I can relate to that. I mean, and I'm sorry, can you hear me okay with the mask on?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's amazing how just one little tip from somebody more knowledgeable or just somebody who's standing on the outside watching your technique, that one little tip can make such a huge difference. Whether how you're holding your arms as you're running or how you're holding your A's or your posture. Just one little thing could make all the difference in the world.
It really did. And, I didn't know anybody at Salton Sea. I didn't know anybody. I just grab my gear, go out there and throw it out in the sand like everybody else and run around and sweat until somebody comes over and takes pity on me and figures out how to get my dumb ass in the air. And so, I was a skydiving instructor. I was a maintenance instructor in the military. And so, I went through ASC and got those instructor ratings. And, I've worked with a few people from scratch, but Dan was my first one. Dan had some ultralight background though. So he had aeronautical and aviation knowledge, but he was fortunate in that I'd made all the dumb mistakes. Well, most of them, and I was able to get him in the air fairly quickly, time wise. He could kite really well and he had bought some gear and, but I got to tell you that it was one of those, you had to be there to believe it. I mean, the guy is kiting like a pro and then we put the gear on his back and he's kiting with the gear on his back with the engine off, we do that 2 or 3 times and the winds are right and the day is right and everything's lined up and it looks like Dan's going to fucking do it. This is cool. And he pulls his rope and I won't mention what type of engine it was. He pulls his rope and the rope gets sucked in to the it's like an air cooling box or something and it's jammed. It is jammed. And he has to take the whole damn thing apart and we just cancel for the day, man. I mean, he was that close. So that's why I like electric start. I mean, if it doesn't work, maybe, at least you got maybe the backup plan. But his particular rig, that rig that he was flying, rope start only and done for the day. And we both had this, man, we were long faced, man. I don't even know if we had a beer. We were so sad over that shit,
Oh,
but,
no.
Yeah. I mean, he was there. He was ready, but I've got pictures of him flying on the first day that he finally did fly. And, and he came down. In fact, it was October, right around my birthday 2 years ago, 21 or 2021.
Yeah,
21,
it was just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I sent him a picture of him. He's looking goofy sitting in the back of his truck with his gear. He's got this grin on that's about, half a mile wide, and but man, we had to work to get him in the air, and it was mechanical problems because he was nailing it, and but that's one of the things that I'm sure every single one of us has seen, either with themselves or with somebody else. You just get to that point where it looks like I'm going to just go and fly today, and oh man, one stupid little thing, and everybody else goes flying, and you sit there and watch. Been there, done that.
You haven't flown a trike yet, have you, Larry?
Yeah, I've got about 25 trike flights.
Nice. I was just going to
Yep, with
say,
a nice hot cup of coffee.
last Saturday, this past Saturday was my first trike flight, but I was telling Will before I was going to make a video about something, but and you can ask anybody that was there. My very first pull, the motor started. And number two, I was able to fill that thing all the way to the top with gas because I was on a trike. I filled that something up.
Oh yeah.
I flew for as long as I think I could fly, landed, and I still had half a tank. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, I've flown the trike a fair amount. It's an older, it's an older model with a flat top on it, and but I put a coffee mug holder in it, and I take a thermos, and I got some hot coffee, and I got the cell phone, and I used to work 7 days on, 7 days off, and so when I go flying the trike on my 7 days off, I call people in the morning, hey, what are you doing? You at work? Yeah, I'm out here over the Snake River having coffee at 1,000 feet.
There you go.
just to piss my friends off. Nice guy, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we got lots of questions in the super chat, but before we go to super chat, is there any questions on the panel before we go to the super chat? All right.
Okay, here we go.
Will fly. Any questions in the super chat?
Yeah, you got a couple of questions, couple of comments. Tony Marzano wants to know if you remember the skydive boogie called Quincy.
I'd never been to Quincy. I was living in Idaho at the time, and a lot of people I knew went to Quincy, got to jump helicopters, and there used to be a 727 that people would jump out of the back of, and just all, biplanes and all kinds of stuff. I really wish I would have made Quincy at least once.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And that does remind me of a question I'll ask you. Well, actually, I'll ask it now because it's kind of relative. So,
okay.
As far as skydiving or jumping out of a paramotor, what's your take on that?
I would say if the paramotor pilot is not familiar with skydiving, get familiar before you let somebody jump out, out of a two-seater.
Yeah.
We all know the legality of it is grayish, I guess you'd say. I mean, it can be an instructional flight and they choose not to land with you, right?
Well, I mean, that's true. That it certainly would be instructional. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can make it an instructional flight, and if the feds ever bugged you about it, you can say, well, that he was also a skydiver, and after the instructional flight, he chose to depart the vehicle instead of land with me.
He chose to exit.
Yeah.
It's probably something you don't want to be posting a video about.
No, probably, and a lot of guys do. I've seen them, but here's the thing. Just like anything else in aviation, the feds don't show up until something goes south. And if somebody got hurt doing a jump off of a two-seater, you would see that exemption situation get really dicey.
Yeah.
And so, from the skydiver in me, I say, yeah, that'd be awesome to go do that. I've jumped from an ultralight, but yeah, legal, not really, but don't post video.
Yeah, I like what you say there. Absolutely, I concur.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any night jumps?
I've done a couple of night skydives. I did them in the summertime. This was back when you had to do a night skydive to get your highest license, your D license. You had to do a solo, and then you had to do a four-way, and you had to leave the aircraft, hooked onto the other three people. And that was in July, probably like 96 or 97, something like that. Well, in Idaho in the summertime, we get these great heat storms. And both of the night jumps that I did, I mean, it was completely dark out. There was heat lightning out to the south, out over the Owyhee Mountains. And you can see lightning while you're on a skydive at night. And I've only ever done 2 jumps at night. But the problem is it messes up your night vision. Even that lightning that far away, and you're coming down and they got 4 or 5 cars out in the landing area and you can't see the damn ground anyway. So,
It's there.
you plan on applying some Band-Aids and drinking beer after you're done because you know what's going to happen, But night I only ever did 2 because they were mandatory. I'd never do one again, man. It's scary. It's weird, especially when you track off from the other 3 jumpers because you really don't know where anybody is. You're wearing light sticks and stuff like that, but yeah, it's exciting, but pass on never doing that again.
Hey, Will, I think you should do the thumbnail now before I die in this
I was
costume.
thinking that same thing.
I'm going to have to strip this thing off because I'm going to die. I'm sweating inside here. And
I bet.
But you're a trooper. You can do it.
I trooped long enough.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Steve, you weren't smiling. Got it.
Good deal. All right, let's watch the Sith undress. Woo!
Oh.
All right,
Oh,
Dark
that's
Lord.
scary.
Where's
All
my
right,
glasses? That's the main. I want to be able to put my glasses back on. Now I can't find my glasses. Really?
I hate when that happens.
They might be in your
too.
mask.
You guys are such troopers.
Absolutely.
Thank you
It
so
is
much.
Are they
almost
seriously in my pocket? Oh my
Doing
god.
that.
7:30. So it's almost 7:30, guys. If you haven't at Will Fly yet, he does want to put you on the spinny wheel of when he thinks.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. We got some stay bad stuff we want to give away. So make sure you stay bad and wait for us to spin the spinning wheel here in a bit. Anyway, Will, was there any more questions in the super chat before we continue?
Yeah, and so Angela's asking where you're located. So I mean, where do you fly out of mostly? What would you call your home base?
My front yard.
Nice.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Short synopsis of why I'm here, why I ended up here. Lived in Idaho 38 years, was flying out there, and the skydiving or the paramotoring community was growing there. However, I was burned out of my job. The Boise housing market was peaking, and so my house was worth, use the word worth, way more than it was actually worth. So I bought property here in South Carolina, 53 acres, had a big house, older house, and 2 ponds full of fish, as we found out later, and enough room for a runway because I own a 1946 Stinson aircraft. Also wanted to eventually open paramotor school here, but I have 7 acres out in front of the house that I fly out of, but it's tight. There's power lines on one end and trees on the other 3 sides. I could fly in and out of there, and about everybody I know that flies could, but I had no interest in unleashing students into a situation where there's, even though it's 7 acres, that sounds huge to folks that have flown a lot. But you take that student that's out there on their first flight, and I've seen skydiving students do some things that just defy complete logic, and I'm sure paramotor students have that same capability. So I just had 10 acres of timber taken down. I'll tell you the great story was I got paid X for the timber. I call a guy to take all the stumps out, and it's like 12 or 1,500 stumps. He quotes me the exact same price I got paid for my timber. So I sat on the front porch, drank coffee for 2 weeks, and watched guys take trees down and then take stumps out. And I ended up with nothing, except all the trees are gone now and all the stumps are pulled out. So eventually I have that all cleared out. 30 acres will be open with a 2,300-foot runway. We'll be able to land and take off paramotors in any direction, have plenty of open space. The scenery down here is, it's not like the Salton Sea, and it's not like Idaho, and it's not like moonshiners or something like that. It's flat. There's swamps and trees, and that's about it. But we can fly about 330 days a year here, 340 days a year. So I just walk right out the front door, throw my stuff out about 50 feet from the house, and take off. It's pretty spectacular. It's really spectacular.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of your posts on Facebook, so it looks like it's coming along nice.
Yeah. The runway should be in the next 2 or 3 months, and I've got an architect working on a campground plan, 7-acre campground. We'll have 10 full hookups and 10 non-hookups to start, and probably expand that to about 25 non-hookups. And I'm looking to have events here the size of Bad Apples, the size of moonshiners,
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Big, guys. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. In addition to fly-ins for aircraft and country music festivals, just everything. This property is really amazing. It's a hidden gem in the middle of nowhere. I tell people we don't have a zip code. We're so far out.
Wow.
I don't
So-
think you can being able to go out your front door and take off. I
Yeah.
wish I could do that.
Oh, it's stunning. I mean, you get spoiled really quick. And now that the
Oh, yeah.
trees are down, now I can do that 2,000-foot long low pass, and still have enough room to do a 180 at 6 or 7 feet and go back the other direction. And it's pretty awesome. It's really great. So I've only had one
Nice.
other guy come up here and fly with me. In fact, we didn't even fly together. He hadn't flown for a couple years. He needed some remedial training, and so I spent most of the Saturday with him, got him in the air, and But yeah, we're gonna host some nice events here, and you'll be able to camp here. You'll be able to fish. It's about 100 yards to one pond and about 200 yards to the other pond. Really beautiful scenery. Really nice place.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Definitely
yeah.
let us know when that flying is. I'll take
Yes.
a trip over there.
Yeah. I'd like to do something in the fall when it's not hot. It was hot here this summer, like terrible hot, like on the sun hot. This time of year, daytime highs are 75, 80, and the mornings are a little cool, but yeah, those are nice days to fly. You can still fly in shorts first part of October,
Very cool. Yeah, you're welcome to, come back and check in with us, on the show or whatever. Just jump on
Absolutely.
Zoom and keep us updated how
Yeah,
things
absolutely.
are going over there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
absolutely.
warnings that's completely off subject. If you ever fly the beach, you have to watch out for two main things: people fishing and kites. People flying kites.
Mm,
Holy moly. I know when I did finally fly the beach, I went over at least 5 people flying kites. Luckily, they had them pretty low, but you could definitely get wrapped up in a kite wing
Oh my God, can you
or a
imagine?
kite string. Yeah.
That does not sound like a fun time at all.
I
No.
can't imagine.
So
Right,
yeah, if
right
you
down
fly
in
the
there.
beach,
About that,
just
yeah.
watch for kites, because if there's enough wind for them to fly a kite out there, then there's a good chance if you're flying right on the coastline that you may end up tangled up in a freaking kite string.
There you go.
So-
Or Supergirl, if she has to be flying in the air, you got to watch out.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, because that could be really bad, Supergirl
yeah, I'll
crashing
keep
into scuba.
I'll keep people informed. And if you guys, those of you that don't have me on Facebook, pop in, send me a friend request, and I'm always posting pictures of the place. It's a gorgeous place, very photogenic. We get great sunrises. Now that the trees are gone, the sun comes up 20 minutes earlier, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, because I had 60-foot pine trees that were within 500 feet of the house, and now the sunrises here are just stunning. It's really amazing. So we're going to have some great fly-ins here and
That's
have some great
great.
times and some good bonfires, and
Yeah.
maybe even tell some stories around the fire that are true.
Yeah.
Nah.
There's some stretches in there.
It's about fly-ins and landing zones. Yes.
Yep.
We need more of them. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So it's a good location. It's only an hour from the beach. So, if we get winded out, run down to the beach and dip your toes in the sand.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're just trying to do everything you can to get me to drive across country, buddy.
Bring the whole family. You better.
Sometimes if you want to have a good time, you got to drive a little ways, I mean, I drove over an hour to get to that flight I went to a couple days ago. So, sometimes you just got to drive.
Yeah. Well, Dan,
Nope, walk right out the shop, out to the backyard and fly.
it's only 4 days, Dan. Come on.
So how
3
do you
days.
guys- How do you guys know each other?
I
Larry?
taught Dan to fly.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
he the hardest student to teach?
No, he was great, man. He was great. He had ultralight background.
Oh wow, good.
Yeah. So he already had some flight time in a 2-seat ultralight. And so he had good aeronautical background and coming from a skydiving instructor background myself, you can smell an idiot a mile away. At least I can. And Dan was on the money from day one, and and now he's turned into me. He definitely flies more than I do now. I'm busy working on the place and don't fly enough. But are you over 300 flights yet, Dan?
I'm real close.
Yeah, so you've caught up with me, brother. You've caught up with me.
I'm real close. It's hard not to when you can walk out the backyard and you have
I
20
know.
acres to take off.
I know.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome to be able to do that, So
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
giving you a hard time, Dan. I already know Larry said you were one of his best students. So
Yeah, I was going to say, Will must not be paying attention because he said that
that's-
earlier.
yeah, Dan was great. And then, after he started flying, then there goes his budget. Now he's got a barn full of paramotor stuff, and he bought a trike, and it's got all kinds of. So I went to Idaho this past summer to visit, and he hooked me up with some gear, and somebody else threw a wing at me, and we went out and did a couple flights around the Payette River, and it was spectacular. It was amazing.
Isn't that weird how you buy your paramotor and your wing and you get your training, whether you self-train or not, and then you think, okay, that's all the money you have to spend besides gas. No, you got to buy a helmet, you got to buy communications, all kinds of radios,
Yeah.
warm weather gear, and then
Yeah.
now I want a trike. It just keeps on going. It just
And then I got to have that new throttle, and then I got to do the
yeah.
Yep.
Strobes.
Probes, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all right. There's plenty of other things you could waste your money on. At least this
That
is
is
an
true.
investment.
So I tell people, between skydiving, owning airplanes, and paramotoring over the past 40 years, I've spent 90% of my money on that, and I've wasted the other 10% on mortgages and food. And that's probably not very far from the truth.
yeah.
Sounds
You know.
about right to me.
Yeah,
there's a lot worse things you could spend money on, that's for sure.
that's a fact,
Munchkin,
man.
I'm aware. Yes, she already knows
Yep.
how much money I've spent extra
Yep.
on top of what. But
Yeah, I've probably told Dan this before, but if I die, sell my gear for what it's worth, not what I told my girlfriend I paid for it.
That's right.
Oops.
you
Yeah.
told her what it was. Yeah, what you. Yeah, right.
It's
Uh-huh.
only $1,000, honey. Really? That was it. It was on sale.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to be the first one knocking on the door when it gets listed, bud.
Yeah. He and I have snaked each other on a couple deals. But that's okay. I love Dan. He's awesome. He's awesome. He's going to bring his butt to South Carolina sooner or later.
Yep, next season for sure, buddy.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it. Yep. We'll love it. We'll get you some of that southern food down here. Oh my God. They got great food down here.
Be
Yeah,
careful.
I don't know.
because-
If it keeps getting as cold as it is right now, I might come down sooner than later.
That's okay. You know, I've thought about doing like a February get together, you know, like they do down at Salton, you know, for folks on this side of the Mississippi, you know, because the weather's not
February
bad
here
in
is
February.
cold. It's cold. I'm not trying to fly in February.
Well, down here, you know, we got days in the 50s and 60s in February.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I could do
Oh,
that. If it's
yeah.
above 50, no problem.
Yeah,
Once it
yeah.
starts getting below 50, then I'm like, I don't know.
No.
about that.
Well,
I
you know,
did
with
one a
some
couple-
good cold weather gear, you know, in the 40s is not bad.
No,
Yeah.
but I've done one at 36 or 37. And I really wanted to fly.
Well,
I did like,
Yeah, you don't stay in the air very long.
no, I did like 16 minutes.
that's the whole thing. You're like, oh, my hands, I can't even hardly. I'm
No,
landing.
well, you know what? This was in Idaho, man. Electric gloves, electric vest. I had heated soles for my boots.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heated
yeah.
soles. I didn't even think about that. I always think about heated socks.
No, heated socks
Right.
suck. Heated
Yeah,
soles.
they do.
Heated
Soles.
soles. Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna have
Heated
to write
soles
that
and a
down.
battery
I have to
pack. Yeah,
look
you're-
that up because that's the one
Yeah.
thing I'm missing is feet. I got
Yep.
hands and jacket that are
Yeah,
heated.
look it up. Heated soles, man. They work great. They work great.
Yeah, they work phenomenal for flying.
Sean
and
writing
I
it
also use
down.
them for
Heated
snowmobiling.
Yeah.
soles.
Yes,
Heated
I
soles.
am. I'm writing it down.
You, you might even be able to go
Yeah.
20 minutes with heated soles.
Good job, Sean.
I
Yeah.
usually don't
It's
have
a
any problems with my
thin-skinned
feet
wuss.
though.
Okay.
It's my hands that get cold. Once
Yeah.
my hands get cold, yeah, I'm done. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have no problem with the rest of my body being cold. When my hands are cold, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've been
that-
flying in the 20s, and that was like a 16-minute flight. Also, that's just a
Yeah.
little
That's
cold.
that's no fun.
Yeah.
That's
Even when
no
you gain a little bit of weight over the winter time, like I've been doing. Oh yeah. This is not a filter. I am getting a tad bit on the fat side, but hey, it's winter time. I want to go fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been cooking on that damn pit boss. That's why you're gaining weight.
Ain't
Yes,
that
it
the
is. Yep.
Yeah.
all the
I'm
time.
like, look at Sean posting all these pictures of the meat he's buying, and I know it's going on the pit boss. You just want to use your new toy, so you're gaining a lot of weight because you're cooking all that food on the pit boss.
Oh man, I'm loving every second of it. But my
Oh,
little
it's
Adam,
delicious,
my,
like-
my little Adam 80 hates me now though, but whatever, right?
So, sounds like I got somebody that'll do some cooking at one of these fly-ins, huh?
Woo. I like
There
me
you
some
go.
pit
Down.
boss cooking.
Come
Mhm.
on down.
You might be onto something there with February get together.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a lot of pent up demand by the time February comes around. People
Oh,
want to
yeah.
get
Yeah.
ready, you know.
And I mean, you know, it's great going to Salton. I mean, but geez, from Idaho it was a 19-hour drive. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, guys here could come down from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana. It's not that far. They can get down here in a day.
Yeah.
And once you get into that 60-degree weather in February and you're from up north, you're going to stay a few days and do some flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Especially if you have hookups.
yeah. We should have 10 full hookups and at least 10 spots that are non-hookups, but then there's 30 acres of field. I mean, we park anywhere, you know. I've got enough room to put 200 airplanes on the ground here. You know, I can certainly fit 200 campers and trailers and whatever, you know. So, but bring some food and things of that nature and any parts you need because there's nothing near here. The closest pizza is 14 miles.
Okay. How about Walmart?
30.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Pit boss.
Lowe's is 52 miles.
52 miles. How about
Wow.
Signal?
You are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I am in the middle of nowhere. Yep. We're
How
we're
about
hoping to get
Signal?
AM radio next year.
AM radio and then satellite the following year.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I know
Pumping
this
in
guy
the
named
sunlight,
Elon
huh?
might have something for you.
Yeah, we are in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing out here, man. The
That's
county I
awesome.
live in has 9,200 people. The
Wow.
whole county. One grocery store for the whole county.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yep. 4,000 square miles, one grocery store.
Damn.
Where's the nearest gas station that has ethanol free for those that
Now that's cool.
will not fly without it?
4 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's what I use in my airplane. So it's less than a mile from the airport. So pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
been my experience too. It seems like you out in the country, you don't have any trouble finding ethanol-free fuel
No.
because like farmers use it for a lot of
Yeah,
things.
it's not bad. And they also sell off-road diesel, which is 30 or 40 cents a gallon cheaper to run in the tractor.
Or your truck.
Yeah, I don't have a diesel truck, but yeah, you get caught doing that.
Mhm.
No bueno.
Don't
You
get
know?
caught.
Don't get caught. No, don't get caught. So, yeah, we got non-ethanol, and right now here it's about 4.20 a gallon, which not horrible. We're doing good on regular gas too. Some places are 2.85. So
Yeah, I think we got gas for what, 270 a gallon over that Circle K in Ward.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. It's still high in Idaho, I'm sure.
Yeah. Any other questions in
not
the
too
super
bad.
chat, Mr. Will or Scuba Steve?
You want to take it, Steve?
Ask me anything.
All right.
I'm
Well, okay.
ready.
So here, this is Tony wants to know, and I bet you I know the answer to this, but he wants to know who parties better, skydivers, PG pilots.
Skydiver.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Skydiver.
That's what I would have thought.
Really?
They're drunken pigs.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I just-
I've seen some things at skydiving parties and DZs that would put a normal person into therapy. I mean, I've seen some weird things. And no, it seems like paramotor folks are well, I mean, there's an age difference though, too, I mean, I was up at Moonshiners this summer. I guarantee the average age is 50.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Think about it, Dan's an exception, and he's 40. Are you 40 yet, Dan?
Oh yeah, I turned 40 this year.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't met a lot of younger guys, in the paramotoring. Look around at the next paramotor meet you're at. There's guys 45 to 55.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
55.
Yep. And
That-
older.
The average age at Blackhawk at their school was 55. The average age of the
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I hate to say it, but the cost of living and the cost of everything has to prohibit the younger generation that's just trying to survive to be able to get into this sport.
That's
Yeah.
right. 5 years ago, Harley Davidson said the average age of a Harley buyer, a brand new Harley, was 51.
And when was
Because a guy,
that?
22
Just recently?
22-year-old guy can't afford to buy a brand new Harley.
That's because when they're younger, they buy the crotch rocket instead of the Harley. Once they get older and wiser, then they switch over to Harley. That's
There you
exactly
go.
how that works.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Well,
Dan's
you'll
shaking
buy
his
the
head. He's
Harley
had them
for a
both.
little while until you end up getting somebody pregnant, and then you got to buy diapers instead of the Harley, and then you
Yeah.
got to sell the Harley to buy the diapers.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's always a way to do both. Trust me.
You can marry a paramotor instructor, I guess. I don't know.
That's funny.
So I guess that's a good segue into since you talked about fly-ins. Are you planning on going to any fly-ins this next year coming up?
I have been here since April of 22, and I couldn't make bad apples. I was still unpacking crap last year for bad apples. And this year, I had already decided I was going to go to Moonshiners because I'd flown skydivers up there, and I met the guy that runs the airport, and it's gorgeous up there at Mountain City in Tennessee. So I don't know if I'll man, if things start clicking here, I won't have any time to go anywhere else. You know, I'm looking to do like an event every 4 weeks, you know.
Oh, wow.
A fly in for Cessnas, a fly in for tail draggers, a fly in for experimentals, you know. Something every 4 or 5 weeks, you know, and
But the
maybe
fly-ins are where you meet all, that's where you meet everybody. It's a big social gathering.
oh
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why-
yeah. Yeah, it's the classic $100 hamburger, you know. Somebody will spend $700 to come out here and camp for 2 days. You know,
Yeah.
by the time they fly in, bring some food with them, or run over to the local grocery store, pay for a couple nights, you know, for like a full hookup if they've got somebody that's bringing a camper to meet them, whatever. I mean, but I've got the room, the geographic room, the space, and the weather. You know, that's why I chose here, because the weather is just so nice all the time. I will say this, guys, summer sucks, not because of the heat, because there's no damn wind.
That's when you break the trike out.
Oh, no kidding. Absolutely. You got it, man. Yeah.
That's
We don't
that's
care.
not
We
so
don't care
bad
about
when
no
you're
wind.
not vertically challenged.
Well, that's true. That's true. You know, Dan, I got this great shot of Dan this past summer, foot dragging the Payette River, you know, and I come back and I said, man, I wish someday I could do that. And he said, well, why don't you do it? And I said, well, I can't get my feet to come down far enough to hit the water.
So
But yeah, we
Steve
got
Kennedy,
beautiful place here, and I think we're gonna have some great fly-ins.
Awesome.
I think
Wow.
Supergirl flew away for a little while. She'll be back.
I guess so. And it's almost 8 o'clock. So whenever Supergirl gets back, we need to say hi to everybody in the chat. Until she gets back, I guess the question would be from Tony Marzano, will you be able to skydive at your LZ?
Yes, actually, I've been flying at Skydive Carolina part-time, and I've got verbal confirmation that we can probably get a caravan down here for a weekend boogie at some point in time.
I don't suppose
As
you
long
get
as
very
you're not
many
flying it.
TFRs in Idaho, right? You don't have any TFRs.
No,
I wouldn't think so.
No,
Yeah, the
down
president's
here,
going to be
I
going
mean-
to Idaho, and we need to put a TFR. That just doesn't happen. Maybe
No,
there's
that-
a potato shortage or something. Yeah.
now down here, the closest airport is 3 miles. That's where I keep my airplane for now until I get a hangar built. But yeah, I could accommodate 100, 150, 200 skydivers here for a 2 or 3 day weekend. And I
Wow.
plan on doing that once a year also.
Nice.
I ran a drop zone for 12 years. I tell people I made about $1 a year. You know, sometimes it's just not that profitable, but I love hosting. I hosted 35, 36 events over the 12 years that I was there. I love hosting these events. I love seeing the skydivers come in and have a great time. And, you know, they can whoop and holler here all night if they want to. And we got plenty of room for landing, you know, novices, experienced people that want to swoop their canopies, whatever. So yeah, we're going to try and do an annual skydiving event also. So I think
I'm
that'll be
I
exciting.
thought you were in Idaho. Are you in Idaho or are you in South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Oh, well, hell, I'm sitting here talking about Idaho. And I'm just way off. Never mind.
That's okay. That's okay. No, I spent 38 years out there, but I'm here now.
I'm just all about Idaho, and you're like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But we'll
That's
just go
okay.
with it.
That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
you don't want to come here right now. It's too cold.
Yeah, and that's why I left, man. I was just burned out on the cold, and you know, I was working 7 days on, 7 days off, and on my 7 off days, it's too cold to go do anything, including flying. You know, and I never got into snowmobiles like Dan does. You know, I I was looking for some place where it wasn't cold 5 months of the year. So when it's cold here, it's 50, you know, so that's not bad.
No, I think our mean temperature for winter is about 50 degrees also. I mean, it gets colder, it gets warmer, but yeah, I think our mean temperature is about 50 also.
Yeah, that's not bad. Hey, as long as you're not fighting frost and snow, put a sweatshirt on. You're okay.
Ain't
It's all
that
good.
the
We're
How
looking
was-
into the 20s next week.
How was Hawaii there, Supergirl?
Oh, hello.
Welcome back from Hawaii. Yeah, you quick flight.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Yes. yes. Yeah, that's what I had to take off for a minute. I had a little emergency, you know, and yeah, thanks for checking on me.
No problem.
So fun, so fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun tomorrow. Stuff's gonna be cold.
Paul wants to know what type of jump plane you had, Larry.
I had a Cessna 182,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of the standard for small skydiving centers. I've been fortunate enough though to fly Twin Otters with skydivers, Caravan, a Super Caravan, which has an engine that's 225 horsepower more than a regular Caravan. I could take 14 jumpers to 14,000 feet in about 11 minutes. It's stunning.
That's a big question I have for you. Like, I don't know how many people I've talked to, but they say they'll see me paramotoring and they'll go, you know, I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know if I'd rather go skydiving or paramotoring. Which would you suggest over the other? Since skydiving, you get what, 3-4 minutes and you're on the ground, but with paramotoring, you go from the ground up. So what do you think you would recommend to people between those two?
I would recommend a
Paramotor.
tandem paramotor flight. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're paying a lot of money to free fall for 45 seconds and get a 4-minute parachute flight. That's it. And I know,
Absolutely.
I mean, I've done 3,500 tandem jumps. You know, I made a living on people getting excited about 30 or 40 seconds of free fall on a 4-minute parachute ride.
I mean, some people, that's all they need. You know, they just want that one thrill and they're done. But people that want to pursue it, you know, I think they should get into paramotoring. If it's something you just want, hey, I want this off my bucket list, I want to skydive one time, then that's probably what you want to do. But
yeah, it far less expensive to learn to fly paramotors. Even if you're buying one, it's still way less expensive than skydiving. I mean, you know, when I started in, you could buy used skydiving gear, good, solid used skydiving gear, $3,000, $4,000. Now you can drop 20 grand easily on brand new equipment, you know, and then pay $30 a jump.
And
So
have you done base jumping yet?
I never did. I had a great friend that was a world-class base jumper, and he's the only one I would have ever allowed to train me. And we just never got together. He lives up in Montana. We just never got together, but I would have jumped the bridge in Idaho for sure. But you know, that was also 20 years ago. The older you get, the less that seems like an awesome idea.
You just get you get to put on one of those cool fly suits though. When you do base jump, don't you?
No reserve. No reserve.
Oh, true.
Yeah, no reserve parachute.
Yeah.
Bad idea. Yeah. Everybody's shaking their head. No, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that.
I don't think I would either.
So, so I mean, I don't fly my paramotors without a reserve. You know, there's just base jumping is awesome. It's cool, but if I did ever have an interest in that, Butch is rolling his eyes.
Isn't it more?
But here's the other thing, man. You know what? Everybody's individual choice, man. Do what you feel is right. You know, I mean, I've used my reserve numerous times skydiving. You know, and I was down in Salton when those guys had a midair a couple years ago and took about 6 feet off of one guy's wing. and he landed it. You know, they had a midair at about 125 feet going opposite directions. And one guy got something like 11 cells torn off of one end, and he landed it. He landed it. He got skun up, you know, and his gear got busted up, but he walked away, you know.
I don't know. Those bungee jumpers, they scare me. I think that'd be more scary than base jumping.
There you go, Will. There's some proof of what the heck just happened there.
That's not even your name on that picture. I saw.
Hey, that's my wing, man. There's another one. This is shots that Nate took of me. Why does it do that when I slide? It shouldn't be doing that. I only got 3 pictures.
So were you guys aware of that midair at Salton where the guy tore his wing up?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 2021. Man, it was brutal. It was brutal. So, but he was low enough. I don't think he could have tossed a reserve. I don't know. Maybe not. Hard to say, you know.
I will throw my reserve at 50 feet if I have to.
I mean,
any extra fabric in the air will slow you
down.
Go
down swinging, man. Yeah. Don't, you know, and here's the thing with me, because of my skydiving background, and I've had a couple of people walk up to me at, you know, at Salton Sea or at Moonshiners, or, you know, other guys that I've flown with in Idaho. I mount my reserve in the middle above my head. Yep. Because if I break my throwing arm, or if I'm tangled up with my throwing arm and my reserve is down on my right hip and all I got is my left hand, I'm not getting to that reserve. But with the reserve up high above me, I can get it with either hand. Doesn't matter.
I like the waist mount, like right in front of me.
Yep.
It's right there. Boom.
If it's symmetrical, you've doubled your chances of surviving.
Yeah.
If it's down in your right pocket, you know, and there are some great, you know, I mean, I fly a comfort seat, you know, dudek, and I could put it down there on the right side or the left side. I want it up high where I know it's not going to get tangled in stuff down in there, and I can throw it with either hand, you know. So that's just me, and I don't notice any. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of weight difference, you know. It changes your vertical center of gravity, so to speak, because you're putting 6 or 7 pounds up there above your head, but I don't notice it. And, you know, take off, get in the seat, kind of look back, let go of one steering toggle, reach up. Yeah, everything's there. It's all good. Away we go, you know. So that's just my personal preference, but that comes from a skydiving background.
Yeah.
So whether that's a good idea, bad idea, just like people that don't fly with one at all, still make the choice that you're most comfortable with. Exactly. Because that's what, as I've taught Dan, you want to be comfortable in the air, no matter what. That way, when things do go a little south, you know, you're not thinking about something else, or, you know, you're going to handle the situation. So,
well, James is saying, what if you mount that and it reduces your thrust? I think where Larry's talking about mounting it, it's almost directly behind his head, with your helmet and everything's blocking that area anyway. So the reserve's not causing any extra resistance.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes any difference. I don't think it makes any difference aerodynamically.
Ballistic reserve. Yeah, that's what we need.
I have not noticed a difference, and I've had it in both different places numerous different times.
Yeah. Yeah. And on the trike, I have it mounted up high on the trike also, you know. So that's just where I prefer it. You know, but that is absolutely a skydiving background based decision. You know?
Like what you said about the, you know, you'd reach back and you'd actually touch the handle of the reserve, basically. So so on every flight, I make it a point to reach down, touch my knee, then touch the pull handle of my reserve. Just, you know, because I'm upside down or all whacked out and I don't know what way's up or whatever. I always know my knee better be in front of me still.
Yeah.
And so just to kind of get that memory muscle.
Yep.
That's a good point about the
Well, you mentioned the muscle memory. It's funny when I started flying paramotors, I'd done 5,500 skydives. The first time I put it on, I got everything all buckled down, everything. I reached down on my right butt cheek to make sure my pilot chute is in the right place because it feels like a skydiving rig, especially a tandem rig. Tandem rig weighed about 70 pounds, and it's just force of habit to reach down there and and I catch myself doing that even today. I'll put my rig on to go fly, and I'll reach down and go, what in the hell? I haven't made a skydive in 6 years, and that's just part of my,
5,500 dives, though. 5,500, that's a lot of times compared to how many times you've been up in a paramotor, though.
Right. Yeah, I've been up in the paramotor 300 times, but I've made 500 attempts.
2
Feet in a Heartbeat said they did a touch and a go, a touch and a go. Wow, a touch and go, and they're reserve deployed.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, but it happened before he took off, so he was able to stop. Thank goodness, because that could have been bad.
Wow.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't even imagine
That
getting
sounds
yanked
like the
back when you
pins on
just
his
start to go
reserve.
back up in the air and it yanked you back. That would be a bad crash.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Daniel? What'd you say?
Do what now?
That sounds like his he didn't check the pins on his reserve pocket to make sure they were fully in place.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got cables on mine, and that's a skydiving thing too. The longer the cable, you're going to be able to pull it out. But if you have just pins can pop loose. I've seen it happen skydiving. I've had it
I've
happen.
seen that happen a lot with the pins, not so much the basically weed eater string that holds them in. I mean, what do you think is better since you got skydiving experience, what do you think holds a reserve in better?
Well, the cable, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I was jumping equipment that was made down in Florida, tandem equipment. And I hadn't actually started jumping the equipment, but I was doing video, and they used to use just a pin, a skydiving pin. It's a little curved pin that's only about an inch long. And so it can definitely get moved out. And without going into the mechanics of it too deeply, the bag that your parachute is in can come out of the harness. But on a tandem, you haven't released it. So now it's just kind of swirling around on your back. If you're on a solo jump and that pin would come out, the bag comes out and the parachute opens. When I started jumping tandems, they had gone to the 6-inch cable, and that absolutely 100% eliminated that issue. Okay. Coincidentally, Dan wasn't with me then. I don't think I don't know if he'd started flying or not, but I went to a civ course, and the equipment that they used for towing us out over this lake had a pin instead of a cable. All right. So if you've ever done a civ course, you get up to altitude, you pull the release, which is pulling that pin out of a little loop, and now you're free. We had a particularly large guy. He was probably 6'4", and he was jumping I think a 39-meter wing or something like that, or flying a 39-meter wing. And that's what he brought for the civ course. Because he was so heavy on his only 2 toes, the pin came out while he was out over the lake. The first one was at about 600 feet, and he's got no chance of getting back to the shoreline, and goes in the water. And they dry his stuff out, repack and reserve. The next day he gets to about 1,600 feet, and the pin comes out. A 6-inch cable absolutely eliminates that. I don't think any paramotor reserves should have a pin. They should have a cable. You're going to be able to pull more than 6 inches, obviously, to get those cables loose and the parachute out of the container and into the breeze. So safety, safety, safety. Like you said, I can't even fathom having a reserve come out while you're down low and maybe get yanked and stopped. And I mean, that could kill you. It really could.
No
you know?
doubt.
So
No doubt.
look at your reserves. See if maybe you can get a cable on there instead of a pin, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the pins, that's for sure.
No. Well, and especially if it's on your belly, it can get knocked around on a launch or something. If it's down in your right side, you're scooting around, you get some turbulence, that pin pops out, and now maybe half the bag is trying to fall out, and you just eliminate it. Put a cable on it. My 2 cents
Absolutely.
for what that's worth.
It is a little bit after 8 o'clock. It's 8:11. We want to say hello to everybody in the super chat. So Will Fly, if you could pop up our spinny wheel of winning things. And after this, we're gonna see that Tony Marzano asked a question about your skydiving, and we still want to know about the space shuttle flying underneath you. So we got those two last questions, but we got to spin the spinny wheel and we got to say hello to everybody that's been watching us. So when you are ready, Miss Linda, you are ready to rock and roll, girl.
Yes. Oh, I love that spinning wheel. That's cool.
It's a Halloween.
Happy Halloween, yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody. Let's see, we got Kramer in the house, Daniel Rush, of course, Tony Marzano, Mr. Vegas, Angela Presley, Bill H, my buddy Bill H, Munchkin. Hello, Munchkin. Love you, girl. 555, Steve Kennedy, Jeff Walter, Robert Harvey, Flying Flamingo Jade, my lovely, John Wayne Cowboy in the house, Dewey Milstead, my fave, Kevin Houston, Life Adventure, 2 Feet and a Heartbeat. We got James, Walter Priori, Sugar is in the house from Australia. Good day, good day. And Paul Marzano and James Calhoun.
One of the things I like about Walter being in here, I know that tomorrow is going to be here shortly because he's living in the future. And one of the funny things I think I saw on a TikTok was a serious person saying, why don't we just ask someone in Australia, since they're in the future, what's happening tomorrow? So I think they were seriously serious about it. But anyway, Walter, good to see you, buddy.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you say Angela Presley? I don't know if I heard Angela.
Yes.
Yes.
Presley.
Right after
Yes.
Tony.
Yes, I did.
All right, we ready to spin the
Good
wheel?
luck, everybody.
Only if we shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Oh yeah. Sure.
All right.
All right, well, you tell me when.
All right. Butch, tell him when.
Oh, when?
All right. There we go. All right.
I'm gonna go with James Calhoun.
All right, let me see.
Dan Yellow from last week gave us a bunch of cool stuff. It still hasn't come to my house yet. So once it does, we'll be able to send these things out. We had a couple of winners last week.
Say Jeff Walter. See if Jeff gets it.
We got Steve Kennedy, Candace Adams, and Tony Marzano won last week. Who's going to win this week? Bum, bum, bum.
I know. That's cool wheel, though. Like the colors.
Tony Marzano passed, so we know it's not rigged. Sorry, Tony.
5 Life Adventure. Ooh.
Walter Priori.
Jeff gonna get it or Robert Harvey?
Robert Harvey.
I don't know.
No, but it's got to make it to Walter.
I don't think so.
Robert
Australia is a
Harvey.
pretty good shipping.
Close. It's gonna be close.
Oh, it's getting
Robert.
close.
Yep.
Yay.
Save Sean that
Robert.
$1,800 shipping fee.
No kidding. I'm still paying on my second mortgage, sending all that stuff out to him last time. Robert Harvey, do me a favor and text me at 501-747-3558 and let me know where to ship your winnings to. I don't know what it is right now, unfortunately, because I don't have my box yet from Daniela over at staybadparamotor.com. All right, guys. So we got 15 more minutes now. So we have 2 questions left. All right. So Tony Marzano said, what's the worst skydiving malfunction he's had? Or shall we talk about the space shuttle flying underneath of them? So really quick, in the super chat, are we going to talk? Obviously, we're going to do both, but which one first? Skydiving malfunction or space shuttle? we'll give you 30 seconds to put some stuff in the super chat. Let me know what you want to talk about. Larry, and also too, before we continue this, we talked about a couple of other things before we did this. You flew during eclipses. Your go-to Paramotor is a Monster 185 my 20 dual start with an epic 27 meter. You've flown in the desert. You flew over 10,000 feet MSL. Over at the Salton Sea, you did a canyon flight. So many cool things. I don't think we're going to have time to talk about all these, man. But I guess talk to us real quick, because next year we're going to have the eclipse, and April 8th, I believe that we're going to have like a get together over here over at Run to the Sky in Paramotor, Arkansas. So tell us really quick, because you've flown it, you've done it. What is it like to fly during a solar eclipse? Ooh.
Well, I flew my airplane during the solar eclipse a few years ago in Idaho, and I was in that band of totality or path of totality or whatever they call it. Some magic thing.
That's it.
Yeah. It was weird for a couple reasons. One, the sky got really, really weird orange first because there was some smoke in the air. And then it got dark, but it was still orange. Now, obviously, you got to wear the dark shades, with the pinholes and whatever. So I'm still trying to fly this airplane VFR, at 7,000 feet. But I'm in this band, and I'm hearing all this other traffic on the radio, and you can't look out to see where they are. You're just thinking, well, I guess if I die during a solar eclipse, that'll make a good headline. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it was really spooky, weird inside the airplane when all the lights went away and it was dark for, I don't know, 80 seconds or something like that. But, and I've got an old airplane, a 1946 airplane. It doesn't have any instrumentation that isn't 1946. So I don't have an artificial horizon. I have, nothing, tachometer, vacuum gauge, whatever. So that was pretty strange. That was really strange. I'd like to do the next one under Paramotor, because I know if I just let off the throttle, I'm just going to keep going straight and go down a little bit or set to cruise control or whatever. So yeah, I'm thinking about coming over to see you guys in April, Sean.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Definitely want to be there.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It looks like the space shuttle wins. I'm just saying. Everybody said shuttle.
Space shuttle wins. Okay, so we're gonna ask them about the space
I'm also
shuttle.
curious.
So I've posted this story a couple times on Facebook, and I didn't get a photograph of it, but I've got a great photograph of the space shuttle as it's piggybacked on a 747, which is the way NASA used to move the space shuttle when it didn't land in Florida. All right. So I'm flying skydivers in Arizona around, I don't know, spring of 2001 or something like that. And we would take the skydivers up to about 14,000 MSL, and the field elevation there is 1,500. So they're getting a 12,500 foot skydive. So it's Arizona and it's out in the desert, but it's still pretty busy because there's airways nearby. So I get this call on the radio from our dispatch on the ground from Manifest, and they said, hey, you've got traffic coming in about 4 minutes. It's a 747 at 10,000 feet heading east. Well, right away that 747s don't normally fly at 10,000 feet, so it's got to be the space shuttle. And I asked them, I said, does it have anything attached to it? They said, yes, it does. So I slow down my climb and I time everything. So I'm flying the jump run slower than normal and keep looking out my right side because I'm heading south. They're coming from the west. And no shit, there it is. There's the 747 with the space shuttle on the back of it, about 2,000 feet below me. And the thing looks like a freaking Amazon warehouse. It's so damn big. And it looks like it's going 12 miles an hour because it's so damn big. Right. And so I time it, and I'm talking to Albuquerque Center, and they say, yeah, you have the traffic. Yeah, I got the traffic, because it's all VFR. And we have one tandem on board, just one, which was unusual. And the guy didn't buy video for his tandem.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, is right. So I time it so that everybody can be in free fall and maybe catch some of the wake turbulence from the 747 and the space shuttle. And the dumbass didn't have video. So I look over to my right, here comes the space shuttle, kind of goes right in front of my nose, and I'm going perpendicular. And there it is, right out my left window. I flip on the green light. Everybody goes. I nailed the spot, and the timing was perfect. Nobody got it on video.
Nobody even with their phone, nothing?
No, this was 2001, man.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean,
so long ago.
It's kind of hard
Yeah,
to jump with
the
a bag
video-
phone.
They have their old
Video
Nokia, their Nokia
Big old-
cell phone.
Yeah,
Damn, I don't have
51,
video.
Yeah.
No.
Big old VHS handy cam.
Yeah, exactly. So the first video camera that I jumped, the battery is bigger than a GoPro. It weighs more than a GoPro.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
good
So
old
this
days.
poor guy. So I tell people, yeah, I flew right over the space shuttle. There you
You
go.
ever seen that, Larry? This is the very first GoPro, the GoPro
okay.
Hero.
What year was that?
I don't even
man.
know, man. This thing takes the gigantic SD
Oh
card.
yeah.
I gave one of those to my kid
Well,
last year.
This
Well, they're
is
up to
so
12.
old. It don't even. I was like, I'm gonna get on the GoPro train, and then I waited from this all the way up to 10 before I
Yeah.
bought another one.
I still got my mini DV cameras. So, those
Yeah.
big old boxes that went from, the VHS down to the mini DV.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my first video camera from skydiving. It was over $700 in 1995, and it had a VHS C,
Oh,
a little
Wow.
video cassette recorder. Yeah, so yeah, the GoPros and the 360s and everything now they are spectacular for what we do. And I've
Wait,
gotten
is Butch Aerosmith? I'm just wondering.
No, man, I'm a hippie, man.
Oh, you're just a regular hippie. Okay, I thought you was
Regular
Aerosmith.
hippie. No.
Regular hippie, man. Come on now, man.
just a
Yeah,
hippie,
man.
What's that guy's name? The Aerosmith guy.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler.
There you go. So I don't know anybody else that's flown over the space shuttle. I haven't met anybody yet. So
I
It's-
think
it's-
you're
it's-
it, man. You got the world record there.
it's a pretty
It's
good
right.
story.
They say if you don't get it on video, it never happened. That's what I hear.
That's true. I was on a skydiving load with a bunch of young kids, and everybody's got a GoPro on the chin of their helmet, on the top of their helmet, on their wrist, on their butt, on their foot, wherever. And we're on our way up to altitude, and I was doing a tandem, and I said, "You young guys and gals that got all these GoPros all over the goddamn place, when I started skydiving," I pulled the gray beard on them, I said, "When I started skydiving, when we got down from a jump, we just told the story and remembered it. We didn't have all the
Hey,
You
next
know,
week,
every-
Will, we can just say we flew over the space shuttle. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, you'd be fine. You'd be fine.
Larry told the story, and then they had the little chisel thing and put it in stone.
There you go. There you go.
Ding, 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 ding.
I said, yeah. We just remembered the shit, and it got better at every campfire.
There you go. There you go.
But the space shuttle story is absolutely true. It was amazing. That was maybe the pinnacle of my flight career to see something like that in the sky. It was stunning. And really,
Yeah, it's
it
a
looked like it
shame.
looked like it was going 12 miles an hour. Because it's
Yeah.
just so big, He was probably doing 200 knots, 250
If only
knots.
it were, they were still doing the space shuttles now, then maybe you'd have another chance to catch video of that. But
Yeah.
that's come
Yeah.
and gone.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool deal though. Pretty cool.
You just need to get a hold of William Shatner. That's all.
Yeah.
Say, hey, dude, don't you know who I am? Hook me up, man.
There you go.
Risk versus reward.
Take me over.
Exactly. All
you go.
right. So our
Man.
last question is, what's the worst skydiving malfunction that you have had? From Tony Marzano.
Oh,
Oh, he's digging way back for this one.
man.
He has to look back on his ding, ding, ding.
No,
ding.
no, it's not
5,000 jumps or something.
It's choosing between several.
Several.
Oh,
The worst.
my
You had to have a
Well,
worst.
Give
You
us
know,
a
when you-
give us a kind of bad and then the bad. Give us a good and a bad.
Okay, the
Maybe
kind
a
of bad
maybe an
is the
8-foot Tandem?
Yeah, these are tandem. So the parachute opens and you break a couple lines or something, you go into an immediate spin under the parachute, you know?
Wow.
And you know you got to get rid of it. And so you just use your left hand, you pull the student's head, put your hand right on their forehead, pull their head back, go to the first handle on the right, which is the cutaway handle. That separates the main parachute from you. Go to the left side, pull the reserve handle. That will open the reserve. However, back to the cable thing we talked about earlier, there's a lanyard on the reserve so that when the main leaves, the reserve deploys from the cutaway. Or you
So
can,
it's like an auto deploy. Gotcha.
yeah. It's called a reserve static line.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I've had a few where I knew right away there's no way I can land this thing, you know, and we got to get rid of it. So that's pretty run of the mill. That's not too bad. My worst one though, I've only had one or two where I thought, you know what? This might be how I die. Do you have that micro thought, you know?
On a tandem? On a tandem?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
The question is, do you put the passenger below you or do you land first?
every passenger lands first because they're hanging lower than me. Sidebar, I took a guy 6'7" once and he landed and I was on his back and he was standing up.
Piggybacked him. All right. Nice.
Dude, he is whooping and hollering. He's excited. He just did his first skydive. I said, dude. He says, what? And I said, I need to land too, man.
Oh my
I'm only
gosh.
5'3". He's 6'7". It was ridiculous.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm doing a tandem and through probably 51% my fault and 49% really bad luck. We leave the airplane. I throw the drogue parachute. And if Tony, who's asking the question, is familiar, he'll get this right away. I throw the drogue parachute and it wraps around my student's ankle. And we are now strapped together, head down, going over 200 miles an hour. And I can't deploy the reserve because that's what pulls the reserve out, and it's wrapped around his ankle.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
I thought terminal velocity was 125.
When you're solo and flat and stable.
Uh-huh. So you're head down because the drogue is on the foot. That's why.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Okay.
now
You're
I'm
booking it towards the ground.
oh yeah.
Like a bullet.
Very much so. And that first thought was, wow, I've really effed this up. I might die. And the only option is go to the reserve parachute at over 200 miles an hour. And
just hope those lines
Just
are
chop
good.
his leg off real quick so the drone can go out.
guess what? It worked. I'm here.
Yeah, did you survive?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm in suspense here. What did you die?
What happened? Well, I hate to steal the show, but I lived. So but the poor guy, it was wrapped around his ankle so badly, and it's still inflated, even though we're flying under the reserve parachute. He's got his right heel almost up on his butt, and he is making a lot of noise about how painful this is.
Sure.
And we managed to come in and, he's in front of me. And I've had a couple of instances where I've had to shield the passenger from injury on a tandem reserve landing, or I've had somebody pass out on me. So I have to shield them when we land because they're just literally dead weight. But we got on the ground and he didn't have any real injury, just sore. And, that was, if all of my other reserves were 6s, that was a 10. That was bad. That
Did
was
you let him
real
go
bad.
up again for free?
Did he go up again? No, you paid to come down under a parachute.
Yeah, you just didn't say which one, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, And we didn't get a lot of free fall out of it. We got enough to go over 200 miles an hour, and that was pretty spooky, you know, because it either works or there is no other option, you know. And getting slammed home from 200 miles an hour under an open parachute, that'll leave a mark or two.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's pretty much easy to say that that guy's probably not a paramotor pilot right now.
No, or a skydiver. No, he was a younger guy. I mean, if it had been somebody older, it probably would have broken their leg or broken their ankle or dislocated something. But you know, that was one of those ones where you get on the ground and you think, do I really need to do any more of these today? You know. So I took an hour break, grabbed another rig, went back up. You know, you got to do it. I mean,
Wow.
how many of us have botched 2 or 3 launches and then got in the air?
Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do
A
it.
lot of people that come up and ask about the sport, it's almost like you can either have a really long conversation with them or immediately cut to the price. And then you know if they're serious or not. If you go, hey, you know, you're going to spend about 13 grand to get you a paramotor and a wing and training, that usually stops it right there.
Yep. Absolutely.
If you go on about, well, you know, you really need to get training so you know which kind of equipment. If you do all that, you're going to be talking for 30 minutes before you get to the point to where you tell them how much it is and they go, oh, never mind. You know, so might as well get the price thing out of the way.
Yep.
And then if they're still interested, then I go into the rest of the story, because otherwise you're just breathing hot air to them. Because
I
Got some
agree.
good financing for you. There you go. We can
you're right.
Yeah,
But you
I
could
agree.
finance it. You know, you could pay this thing off before you die.
for less than a cup of coffee a day. We can get you in the air with a paramotor and a wing.
There you go. So, yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that. Same way with skydiving. You know, I always wanted to be a skydiver. I've heard that a gazillion times. I go, well,
just
you know,
a tip 13. Just saying. There we go.
yeah, nothing's cheap. Now, the first I've been flying so long. First airplane I bought, beautiful airplane, was only $7,500.
Wow.
But it was 30 years ago. You know,
Oh,
yeah. So
That's
it's all relative.
did
It's
you
all
at
relative.
least get them a clean pair of draws?
Yeah.
And
Here's
And
the one thing
also-
I can leave you all with, and it pertains to every aspect of aviation, whether it's ballooning, ultralights, Dan can back me up on this, paramotoring, skydiving. It will never be as cheap as it was yesterday.
No.
That's
Yes,
true.
your very first flight is the most expensive flight ever, and the rest of the time's free.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I want to know is when Daniel's flying, like if he's doing paramotoring, does it look like he has a full head of hair when he's flying because his beard goes up?
It's pretty wild. I've got some
You can
pictures
see him when he comes
mid-flight
down
that
from a
look pretty
landing.
crazy.
It looks like somebody stuck his face in a blender. You know, he's got all
It just
beard hair everywhere.
It
As long as
doesn't-
it won't go back into the prop, you're good, man.
Yeah.
That's his reserve, man. Hey, you
Yeah.
know, that's got to be the one thing that sets the two apart, paramotoring versus skydiving. I mean, it has to be the degree of thrill or exhilaration. I mean, that's got to be much more intense with skydiving. Just has to.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, you know, obviously every skydive, you save your own life,
Yeah.
which, you know, the element of danger is far less here with paramotoring, but definitely still at the forefront of my mind when I make flights or when I train somebody, or, you know, I'm supposed to work with some guy in a week or so here, and he's got some flying background. He's a private pilot, got his own equipment, you know, wants to come out and learn. I just saw a picture, and I'm sure you guys saw it on Facebook within the last 2 weeks. Somebody that did a ground start, and engine got away from him, and right arm, he had about 60 stitches in his right arm. I don't know if you guys have seen that
No.
picture, but Wow.
Saw a video where an instructor was getting a student to ground start their paramotor, which I think is
That
ridiculous.
was I saw that one recently too, and that one blew up.
Yeah, I don't understand why, especially if you're an instructor, you're teaching these people how to be safe on a paramotor. Why would you teach them, hey, it's okay to ground start if you know what you're doing? No, the hell it is not either.
No.
That motor
Well,
can
you
take
know-
off anytime. There's no reason whatsoever ever to ground start your paramotor on a back or on a rack. That's
One of the cool things
Absolutely.
is that we've done is that we've simulated something like this, right? So we had them where they would pretend to like start. And all I did is had my knee next to the prop, and I just used my knee to go forward a little bit. They could not keep the paramotor from coming towards them with all of their might, knowing that I'm just going to lean in a little bit, and they
Yep.
could not keep the paramotor up. So if you did something like that wherever you are, where just somebody gently pushed that prop towards you while you were pretending or at least in that spot where you would normally, or if you would do something like that, and when you realize that if you put all your might into it, that little bit of pressure, you can't hold them up. Why would you even try to ground start? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have
And
way
Dan
too many
and I have flown-
pictures.
Dan and I have flown with a guy out in Idaho. His name is Dan also. He got a rig, and you guys got to be familiar with this. It's got an electronic system that will shut the engine down after X number of RPMs.
Yeah, safe start.
Almost all the scouts come with it.
Yeah.
Scout, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it can start blasting away on RPMs. It'll shut itself down.
Hmm.
You know. Now
That still gives you enough time to chop something off.
absolutely, I agree with you 100%. I
The
think
only
that's a-
issue with safe start is if your motor goes out while you're flying. If you go to restart your motor, you have to make sure to let it idle for a few seconds before you hit the gas. Otherwise, it'll shut right back off. So
Yeah.
if you're in the air and you restart, you can't just hit the gas, if you're getting low, because you'll just kill the motor again. That's the
Yeah.
only bad part about safe start, but it can save somebody from getting their arm chopped off or fingers chopped off. So, it's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to talk about that from a practical standpoint as far as ground starting. And I'm not saying that I did this, but in theory, if I were to have ground started a couple of times and it almost got away from me, I would say I'll never do that again. So I'll just put that out there. But probably if somebody's thinking about ground starting, they've got the motor on their back. It's freaking 95 degrees outside. They're sweating and they go to pull the motor, and they pull and they pull and they pull and they can't get it started, and they get frustrated. And then there is the tendency to take the motor off the back and start working at it from that angle because it's a lot easier.
Yep.
But it's also a lot.
Yeah, well, you should go back to the basics. You have something wrong with your engine that needs fixed.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
from a practical standpoint, the reason I'm saying this is because I've been there, and I know what it feels like that desire to just take that motor off your back and give it a
ground
good
start
pull.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Raise your hand if you've never done it.
I've
know?
never. That's ridiculous.
I've never
Yeah.
ground started. It's
Yeah.
on my
Okay.
back or I'm not doing
Good.
it. Or
So
on the rack.
Kevin and Scuba, well, how many flights you got, Scuba? You got 12 now, right?
11 or 12, something like that. Yeah, I'm still new. I'm still a new guy.
No, I'm not. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because, I've gone for 4 years, for a little over 4 years now. So, it's just, I'm glad I learned the lesson when I did,
Well,
Definitely.
the,
You
the
got all
guy
your
I bought-
fingers and toes. So
Hey,
yeah.
Well,
Dan
there
knows this
wasn't
guy.
as much emphasis by my instructor about ground starting. That was something that I started picking up when I hung around my local group and then started watching some videos about it and reading.
That's a
And
big safety thing right there. That's one of the main things that I think should be taught at every school is not to ground start your paramotor. I mean,
Right.
they can get you hurt.
Sean goes over that pretty regular with every student.
I'm sure Sean does. I know
He does.
besides your streets being straight and your carabiners
Hey,
being
man,
locked.
hey.
Yeah, ground starting. Yeah, I'm sure.
That 11 seconds for that checklist it'll save your life.
There
Yep.
you go.
And
When that moment comes, and it will come in your paramotoring career where you're thinking about doing it, that's the point where I hope you remember this episode.
Yep, yep,
Right.
Just like do the next best thing.
yep.
Whatever
I
it
still
is,
think
but it
about
ain't gonna
standing in
start.
front of cars. So I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Before
what?
you do it, just Google ground start paramotor and look at the pictures, and you won't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
idea.
not worth it. It's not. I mean, I
No.
don't see any reason to ground start. I mean, and
If
then,
you do it, you'll only do it once.
Yeah.
and Larry, has dual start. So, people that got electric start, that's even more reason not to ground start. They don't, on the factory yard, they don't give you the option to have electric start. You can
Right.
only pull start it. But like I said, first pull, it started. So I'm happy with that. If it takes me more than 3 pulls, I'd be surprised. I'd have to have primed it way too much and flooded it, because it usually within 3 pulls, it's running every time.
Yeah. Well, I just put a new starter on mine recently that I got from Dave Jewell at Blue Sky in California. And man, this starter is wicked. I mean, it just zips that thing up so fast, and it's I'm an old guy. I don't want to pull start, and I'll electric start all the time. I rarely ever pull start unless I had the starter motor off for a while earlier this year.
Give it a couple of weeks. I got a pull start for you when you get out here.
Oh, come on.
Talk about bad designs. What was Cadillac thinking with the North Star motor when they put the starter in the intake of the engine? Why would you put a starter in? So if your starter goes out on a Cadillac with a North Star, you got to pull the whole intake off to get to your starter. Good luck with that.
That's why they did it. So because if you got a Cadillac, you got money to pay for a mechanic. You're not going to be doing it yourself.
I guess.
Back to Dan's mishap, not a mishap per se, but just bad luck on that day that we were going to make his first flight. He was pull starting, and the rope went back in and caught the flywheel and just wound up in the flywheel. I mean, what a freaking mess, I mean, he had to take a lot of crap off the engine just to get to that.
Yep. And if the motor would have started, we would have been in worse case.
Yeah. But I got to give a shout out to Dave Jewell. He's got these starters built custom. They will fit about 5 or 6 different motors. And I put mine on, and I use a 14.4 volt LiPo, and man, you hit that button. I've got a cross country throttle, and you just hit the start button. It's running right now. Dan hit the nail on the head though earlier. If it's not starting after 3 tries with electric or 3 or 4 tries pulling, something else is going on.
Right.
Absolutely.
It was a gas motor with an electric start, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just for the first time yesterday or the day before, I put an electric paramotor on my back. The Open PPG.
Okay.
That thing is incredible. I mean, I could not hold it back. I can full power the motor and hold it back. I could not do that with the electric.
I'm thinking about maybe a couple of those for training rigs at some point in time. Not messing with full starters, electric starters in general, mixing gas, doing it, just plugging batteries in at the end of the day. And I'm not a big EV guy, I don't have an electric car, whatever. I got my opinions on that, but, so did you fly it or did you just put it on your back?
I did not fly it, but I mean, I felt the power on my back, and I felt the response of the throttle, and it felt really good actually. Even though it's about the same as with the Moster, the weight wise, the way that it's positioned on your back, it's higher up. It feels much lighter.
Okay, interesting.
So
I'm not a big fan
for me. Once they hit that hour and a half flight time, with the battery technology, I think I'm going to be all over that.
Yep. I was
Yes,
just
I'm
gonna
right
say,
with you. The battery technology hasn't got quite there enough to spend the money.
Yeah.
well,
As soon
I
as
think it
solid
would be,
state batteries get cheap enough, that's when it'll be on the market and
Yeah.
be profitable to do it that way.
and I think it'd be fine for training because, like when Dan made his first flight, we were at a sod farm. I don't think he flew for 9 minutes, 7 minutes, I mean, I think it's a
Well,
great,
it probably didn't help that our comms died when I ended up 200 feet off the ground.
right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I was
But-
going to ask Dan, on your first flight, were you tempted to get in your seat early? That's a big thing. I know my first flight, I kind of got scooped into my seat. That's probably because I wasn't leaning back. I know if you're leaning kind of forward when you go to launch, once that wing catches, it will scoop you up before you need to actually get scooped, and then you'll just come right down into the ground from the weight. So were you tempted to jump in your seat, or you were just like, no, I'm going to go until I'm 10 feet in the air before I stop running?
No, it was actually a couple weeks ago when I saw the 3-year videos and everything when I first started, up to close to 10 flights. I was the idiot that looked like a fool, running until you're way up in the air, hanging out of the harness until everything was checked, and then figure out how to get into the seat.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, their first flights, they'll take off and they'll be running way up into the air, make sure, because I thought I was in the air, because that wing will fool you. You feel the weight come off of you and you're like, oh, I'm in the air, but you're not. So wait until you're in the air before you try to get in your seat.
Yeah. And then hit a dead spot and then go buy a new prop.
There, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
right back into the ground and
Yep.
boom, props break easy.
Yep. Been there. Yep. Yep. Well, I got to give Dan props because we built really good habit patterns, and that was one of them. Don't stop running until you feel like you're ridiculous.
That's the other thing, depending on your instructor, like Larry instructed Daniel, right? So everything that Larry taught you becomes instilled in your brain. So everything that you do when you set up to, whether you do your pre-flight or everything you're doing, it like automatically snaps in your head. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. Yeah. That's why it's so important for training. I mean, if you do your own, if you do self-train, you're like bouncing all over. Okay, am I missing this? Am I missing that? When you go through training, it's like systematic. You're like, okay, I need this, 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 this. And then you've checked everything before you go to take off, because I mean, that's the most important thing, being safe before you even try to launch. Because if you launch, you got a riser twist or something real bad, that's when bad accidents happen. Yeah. You go to pull your brake and you got a riser twist, your brake's going to pull and stay pulled, and you're going to spiral right back down into the ground.
Yeah.
I pretty much do the same exact procedure from my very first flight till my flight a couple days ago, with the exception of a few minor tweaks.
Yeah, it's just a habit forming thing that you get accustomed to, and you just do over and over again. So you've checked everything, so you're good to go.
The more you practice, the luckier you get.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
The luckier you get.
Yep. Practice. You'll end up lucky, or so it seems. But yeah, it's no different than skydiving or flying airplanes. You got to have a habit pattern. And if it's taught to students correctly from the beginning, they'll follow it. It'll serve them well. It has with Dan. He's going to pass me up, I'm sure, one of these days, which is great. I love to hear that. I love to see that,
Yeah, I'm about ready to get my instructor rating and try to utilize the 20 acres behind the house.
Good.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
Nice.
Perfect. And then when you retire, you can come here and instruct, and we'll go fishing.
I mean,
if I can talk the wife into getting rid of all the pigs and the goats and the chickens so I can move without them.
Wow.
I don't know the exact numbers. I'd say within the last 2 or 3 years, the amount of paramotor pilots have increased tenfold, if not more. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of people that's getting into paramotoring now?
We had 192 registered up at Moonshiners in August.
Wow.
192.
Yes, it's
a
it's
lot
a good
for
thing that more
moonshiners.
people are getting into the sport, but when you're in smaller communities and a handful of those people don't get the correct instruction and or just disregard the way we're supposed to fly,
Right.
it creates problems and you start to end up losing LZs and you can't fly certain places.
Right. That's
There's
why
a
I
few
bought
bad
my own.
apples. Yeah.
That's why I bought my own. You know?
Definitely a few bad apples. It happens with almost anything. I'm more worried about this whole Amazon delivery drone thing getting in the way of our flight, and what altitude are they going to have to fly at, you know, compared to what we do. If they start delivering Amazon packages with drones, are we going to have to look out for these drones? Or the drones are going to have some kind of avoidance system? What's going to happen?
They're going to have some sort of avoidance system. You can't just fly something, you know, blind up there. That's ridiculous. I mean,
right. Well,
you can't even do that with, you know, with
Regular
drones. Yeah.
Drones are good at avoiding, but they're good at avoiding steel things, not usually moving things that much that I've seen in the technology that we have. I mean, maybe it gets better, but I'm worried about the fact that we're actually moving at a decent speed, the drone being able to get out of the way.
Well, look at the Cessna Caravan and the Paramotor crash down in Texas a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Now, I have my opinions because I've flown both types of vehicles, and if I'm flying a Caravan, I'm not looking for paramotors at 5,000 feet above the ground, you know? So, don't fly your paramotor 5,000 feet above the ground near an airport, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're good at seeing and avoiding, but that's all well and good, but what are you going to do? Hit the throttle to get away?
It's not even like if you know that you're going to be doing something like that, it's not even like you can't put up your own NOTAM. I mean, you can put a NOTAM up for the following day saying, hey, be careful. I'm going to be flying up to 10,000 feet in this particular area. So people are looking out for you.
Yeah, you can do that. Anybody can do that. I'm sure once I've got things rocking here, there'll be a permanent NOTAM over at the airport because it's only 3 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, paramotor activity in the vicinity, you know, just like you see the little skydiving icon on sectional charts for skydiving centers, you know. That may even be
here for sure.
That may even be something that happens with the FAA at some point in time, and we get our own little icon that there is paramotor activity at this airport. Keep your head on a swivel, you know. And I've seen it from both sides of the equation, you know. If I'm flying an airplane, even my airplane only goes 100 miles an hour. I only have a fraction of a second to avoid something like a ultralight or a paramotor, you know. And I mean, yeah, if you're flying near a bigger city, yeah, that's might be an issue that you would have to consider more closely. One of the reasons I bought here is because we can fly all over the place. There's a bunch of grass strips within 10 or 12 miles of my place. We can do some neat cross countries, you know, and there's no traffic at the airport, much less around.
That's a question I got for you. Since you can fly from your front door, do you get bored of flying that same area over and over again?
No. A little bit.
No.
A little bit.
No.
Yeah, but not bad. I mean,
John says no, and you're saying a little bit.
No,
that's what I'm trying to.
You get your coffee in the morning and you go out in your front door and go fly. No, because I can go in any direction. You know, 20 or 50 miles on a paramotor, and come back. I mean, I am never without going someplace I've never been.
I will say, there's a lot of agriculture here. It's flat. It's flat like a table here. They call this low country. You know, there's high country in South Carolina. You know, the highest peak in South Carolina is 3,500 feet. People don't know that. And then there's low country, you know, I'm at 140 feet. And it just slopes to the ocean, and it's only 50 miles away, 50 air miles away. So there's not a lot to see out here, but there's some pretty good sized ponds and a lake nearby here. And little towns, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it just makes me think. I'm just wondering if you get bored of seeing the same thing over and over. I'm just happy to fly myself, but I think some people get bored. They're like, "Oh, I need a new place to fly. I want to see new things." But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be flying myself.
Yeah,
so-
and I don't disagree with that. I mean, when I was out in Idaho this summer and got to fly with Dan and some of the other guys, yeah, what a treat. Here's the mountains again, and I can go play around up in the foothills and go down low over the river. And around here, yes, it's flat. There are a lot of trees and there are a lot of swamps, and you don't want to be in either one of them. If
Mhm.
something goes south or land in either one of them, we got gators down here. We got 5 different species of poisonous snakes. You don't want to go in the water or the swamp,
Wow.
Yeah, and nobody
Yeah,
wants to go in
I
the
think it
trees.
goes along with depends on what territory you're in. I've been flying from my backyard for over 3 years, and I still have yet to get bored and can still find new places and new things to see.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. That's what
absolutely.
I
And
thought.
and on the same note, you can always paracamp. So you can like go from your LZ, find a cool spot, land there, come back the next day, and it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
My
Well, it's
experience is different, and that I am kind of bored of flying at my LZ. Maybe it's because I've done it day in and day out and day in
Yeah.
and day.
and where are you, Will?
I'm in the Raleigh area, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've flown skydivers up there at Triangle.
That's where I fly out of.
Oh, at the airport?
Yeah, at the airport.
Okay, I've flown over at Cadence Sky Sports.
Yeah.
For red shoes, that's Will. There you go.
They've moved off site to another airport to the north.
Yeah.
That other grass field, there's a grass strip up there. They just moved there, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so I like to mix it up a little bit if I can.
Yeah.
Well, Will's a different case. I mean, he may fly out of the same place all the time, but Will goes to a lot of fly-ins where he gets to experience different areas. So
Yeah.
I can't see him getting that bored because he does get to go to different areas to fly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
but
say
that's right. But if I only flew out of my local LZ every time, and kind of
Right.
I
You
don't
just
think
got to
I
go in a
could
different direction each time.
ever.
North, west, south, east.
I
Then
don't think I could
use them all up.
ever get bored out of going out
bored
one LZ.
sport is in the eyes of the beholder, though, too, guys.
Yes.
If
I
you
mean-
end up bored, just pull the brakes a little harder.
True.
Go take a civ course, man. I got some great still photos of the canopy. It looks like it wadded up into a ball of shit, and go take a civ course if you're getting bored.
Yeah.
I'm
won't be
good.
bored all the
I'll stick with boring. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
I
that-
like
that
the
is fun.
boring.
that was interesting. That was pretty interesting. But
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only place that I took through a reserve was at a SIV course.
yeah, I haven't had. I came close to throwing one a few summers ago. I was doing some wing overs and I went negative, and I got line twists at about 700 feet.
Wow.
And it was such a snap at the bottom that it popped the lead off of the ignition coil, killed the engine.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
Kevin,
didn't know that at the time.
So go ahead.
So I got down to about 200 feet and hit the start button, and nothing happened. Oh, okay. And I went into an agricultural field. I got out of the line twist, so that wasn't a big deal. But the wing was still inflated. Yeah, I've got line twists, so I'm not going to throw a reserve. The wing's inflated. I'm
Right.
over a huge field. It's not an issue. But ironically, it was only about 300 yards from the local fire department. And so
Convenient.
Nice.
these guys come out, drive the truck like 200 yards and go, "Hey, are you okay? Yeah, you guys can go back to whatever you're doing. I'm good."
Go back, wash the truck some more.
Yeah, I had to make 2 trips out of the field, one with the wing and one with the gear, because it was some agricultural field and it was wet, and I almost lost a shoe in the mud. And it just,
no.
yeah, don't go negative on a wing over.
Kevin, did you only get that one flight? I know you said, I think you said you were going to go back there in November to fly again. Did you just get that one flight in?
Just that one flight.
Oh, damn. You got to be itching for another flight, man.
I am very much so.
Okay.
much.
I was really worried. I was like, man, Kevin, I don't know if he got to fly more than once. One flight, it's like, oh my God, you got to be itching so bad to fly again.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, dude. I'd be freaking out right now if it was me.
Get up in the morning and get it together and go fly.
He's got to drive back out to Sean's place and, go fly.
It's a 3-hour drive
Well,
from
work,
my house.
work will always be there.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So November what?
November 10th, 11th, and 12th.
10th, 11th. Oh, damn. That's when our granddaughter's getting born. Okay, well.
Just whatever.
Videotape it.
Priorities, man. You gotta come down.
I haven't flown in a few weeks, but because I've been doing 1,000 other things, but we get fog in the morning, and I'm really tempted to launch when the fog is a little thin, so I can get up on top of it because it always burns
Me
off,
and you both.
Yeah.
So is fog clouds? Because if it's free and clear of clouds, they didn't say anything about fog, right?
Well, I'm also in the middle of nowhere, which is nice.
I haven't had a flight like that yet with low clouds to where I can get up above them. Well, actually, there was one time when I could have done it, but I would have had to go to 3,500 feet. And this was like at flight 5 or something. I'm like, no, I just wasn't comfortable going that high. So I was like, no.
Yeah, what if you fell from that height? That'd be terrible.
Well, if I figured, even when I went hang gliding, they were like, you can go 2,000 feet and you get to hang glide down for like 5 minutes, or we'll take you to 5,000 feet and it's 20 minutes. I was like, hell, I'll die at 2,000. Take me to 5,000. I might as well go all the way.
Yeah.
It just gets cold at 5,000.
It did get a lot cooler, but it was 90 degrees on the ground. So that was awesome to go up that high.
Yeah. Well, that flight I made to 10,000 feet was pretty damn cold, and it was in July.
Woo!
Yep.
10,000 feet. Man.
Yeah. We took off at 3,800 though. We only had to climb 6,000 feet.
Yeah.
But even in the summer, 10,000 feet at 9 in the morning or 8:30 in the morning or something like that. Yeah, dude, you don't spend a lot of time up there. You take your pictures and you go back to the camp.
It's below zero up there 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it was pretty damn cold. It was really cold.
Hell, I'm in a flood zone. I'm like 2 feet below sea level where I live. So I'm low.
Boy, those launches must be amazing.
They're so easy. I don't even have to think. The wing just comes up. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go.
Yeah. When you have a breeze at Salton Sea, it feels like you got about 38 horsepower, Yeah, it's pretty cool being 200 feet below sea level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun flying down there.
Yeah, go to Moonshiners and try not only being up at a couple thousand feet and the wind is going around like this.
Yeah.
I was
you was at Moonshiners, weren't you, Larry? You were at Moonshiners.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was a good time. I had flown skydivers up there, so I'd met Dave, the airport manager, and got to know him pretty good. In fact, I was just up there a couple of weeks ago flying skydivers again. He says, I mentioned something about paramotors, and he says, well, we have this event. And I said, well, I'm coming.
Linda?
Yeah, I know her real well.
Yeah, she's
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I'm going to ask Will this question. If you had 2 events that you could go to next year, what would those 2 events be?
You should ask everybody.
Yeah, everybody. I'll ask everybody. If 2 events, you can only go to 2 events, 2 fly-ins next year, what would those 2 fly-ins be?
Moonshiners 1.
Yeah.
Gorgeous at Moonshiners.
Dude, that's really tough, man.
Yeah.
I know it is tough, but that's my choices. I think I can hit 2 fly-ins next year. And I got to choose between Bad Apples, Moonshiners, Dave Purdon's. I don't even know.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, March 21st is the second annual Fly It for Gauge.
Oh, and fly it for Gage. I forgot about that. That's
So
another.
I'm gonna have to make it 3 because I'm gonna go to that regardless.
Mhm.
If Fly It for Gauge weren't around, it would definitely be Moonshiners and Purdens. I mean, Bad Apples. Gosh, there's Moonshiners too.
I
Shoot,
know.
I cannot-
Yeah,
I
see,
can't
when
do
you're
it.
limited, it makes it hard. It makes it
Can't
really
do it,
hard.
man.
Bad apples for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Gauge for sure.
The scenery up at Moonshiners is worth everything, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. You
So
know?
is the scenery better at Moonshiners or Dave Purdens? Because Dave Purdens look pretty cool too.
Moonshiners.
Moonshiners?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's awesome. It's stunning. Moonshiners is awesome. Yeah.
Bad Apples for the people, Moonshiners for the, well, good people too, but it's just the most beautiful backdrop for paramotors that I've seen.
I don't know. I'm pretty stuck on my backyard.
Daniel's like backyard and backyard. There we go.
And
Well,
don't
I'm putting
forget
up on my
next year.
front yard, and I also have a lot of side yard and backyard too. Like I said, when
Well,
All
Sean's
right,
gonna.
so my
I'll have 30
all right,
acres.
my backyard and your front yard next year.
Okay,
Sean's gonna say the eclipse for one.
Eclipse
okay, that's the deal.
for sure, right?
That's the deal.
Actually, next year, we plan on hitting every major fly-in next year.
Good.
Oh,
Across the
well,
country?
Yes.
Wow.
so much for limiting Sean to 2. He's like, screw you, I'm going to like all of them.
The last couple of years haven't been able to because we got the school up and running, the nonprofit. So now it's like we got to go to every single one.
That
Look at
that's-
Butch.
see,
Look
that's
at
the
Butch. He's
issue.
like,
What about? See, now that the school's started, the school's probably going to be busier. How are you going to be able to get away to go to these fly-ins if you have
hire more instructors.
Okay, well, hey, if you
Bring
know,
all the students with me to the fly-ins.
there you go. Hey, if y'all want to get trained, you're going to have to come to Utah or wherever the hell.
Yeah.
I got you.
That sounds like a really bad idea.
We're gonna take that weekend off.
Oh, yeah. Well, we want to go down to Columbia also and do that Columbia thing with My Dog's Choking. Chris Wheeler,
Oh.
right?
There you go.
Chris
Yeah.
Wheeler has that thing.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously, if you got students, you can plan the schedule around it. Okay, well, this is the fly-in, so I'm not going to do any students this week, and then I can take students afterwards. So yeah, you got it. You can set it all up yourself.
Or
Jen Stamey says he would go to Bad Apples and Gauge. Fly
Bad
for
apples
Gauge.
and Gauge. Gauge is so far, man. But I mean, if I went to Gauge, I'd just fly down there and on a plane, not on a paramotor, and then just hang out because I wouldn't be able to bring my gear. I'm not taking my gear on a plane. Damn that.
That's what
Everybody's
we did.
circumstance is different.
That's what we did to EFG.
You just
this-
need to
this
start a
year.
YouTube channel and do it like the Canadian Jim with his
Yeah.
maple smelling money and travel and make videos.
Damn that, man. You seen his van? It's like falling apart and crap. Now, I don't need 500,000 miles on my car.
Tony says Bad Apples and Fly It for Gauge.
Yeah.
That was fly for
No.
Gauge.
Bad apples.
No,
and
excuse me,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Flying Circus and Fly It for Gauge.
Oh, flying
I would.
circus.
We definitely
Oh.
got to do circus. We may not go down there with our gear for circus, but we'll go down there for sure to watch it because that just looks crazy as hell.
It
That's
does
about-
look crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts, you guys. Let me tell you. A lot of people flying, airplanes coming in and out, guns and ammo and all kinds of wild things going on there. Some guy was the first year I was there, some guy was flying his paramotor after dark, didn't have any lights on it. And you can just hear him doing wing overs and doing all kinds of shit. And I thought, this guy's gonna die,
Wow.
And it's 23 miles from the nearest pavement.
Wow.
So you are out there. It's
Wow.
insane. It's a good time, but it's pretty insane. There's a lot of activity out there.
I hope
So could you go out and have a good time even if you didn't fly?
Yeah, Anything you think you might need though for that weekend, you better take with you because you're not going back to town.
Mhm.
It's 23 miles to the nearest pavement and then about another 10 miles to the nearest town. So that'd be 2 hours, hour and a half to get to the next town, but it's a pretty cool place. Mo is very eclectic. He's an interesting character. There's a lot of activity, and when the sun starts going down and people are putting their wings and toys away, they bring out a 50 cal machine gun with tracers, and it's just mayhem. It's awesome.
Hopefully by next year we'll have a fixed wing and I'll have my pilot's license and we'll just fly over there to circus.
Yeah,
Oh,
way
if you
easier.
get your pilot's
Yeah.
license, you got it made. Then you can just fly to all the fly-ins and bring your gear right
Yeah.
along with you.
I know what I'm
plan.
thinking.
That would be awesome, Sean. You should do that. Be like, hell, we'll just fly to. All right, we're there. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Now we'll get a
a little
paramotor
bit.
out and fly them.
Yeah,
Yep. So,
that sounds great.
well, guys,
you know what
my phone is bleeding power, and I'm getting pretty low.
Uh-oh.
So,
We've already went well beyond what we normally do, but
I told Larry, it's like, don't tell me that, you can stay out here as long as you want to, because we've done over 5-hour podcasts before.
This was,
well, I appreciate
long.
the invite, guys, and
yeah, thank you,
Supergirl.
Larry.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Larry. Definitely appreciate you. Had some really
And,
awesome stories.
everybody come and visit down here. You'll fall in love with the property. It's a sleeper. You pull in off of a quiet paved road and take a long dirt road out to the campground, and man, just spectacular sunrises, and like I said, 30 acres of open area. I mean, I love going up to Moonshiners, but it gets a little busy, a little crowded up there with everybody trying to use a fairly finite amount of space.
Yeah.
You won't have that problem here.
Well, I put your Facebook link down below in the description, so you
Very
guys
cool.
go over there and check them out and
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
them.
Send me friend requests, definitely. And then you can kind of keep up on what's happening. We're kind of at a lull right now. I have 17 piles of stumps I got to burn. Some of the piles are as big as a house,
damn,
Oh,
literally.
man.
Yeah. So,
bonfire.
Sounds like a good time with a cocktail.
Yeah.
yep. Lots of bonfires going on here for a while. So, but yeah, we should, even if I don't have the campground done, obviously we can still camp,
Right.
I get porta johns and whatever brought in, and food trucks, and so I think we got the potential to put something on the map, so to speak, and make this a destination, not just for paramotor folks, but powered parachutes and ultralights, experimentals, whatever. So
Nice.
should be awesome when it's done,
Can't
which
wait.
will never
This will
be
fun.
completely done, if you know what I mean.
Never done.
No,
Yeah.
never done.
Never done.
I don't even know how you sleep at night right now, Larry.
Oh, Man,
Jeez.
I'm
I bet your
so good.
mind just going ring, ring, ring.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I tell people, I'm not young, but
not? What?
but
What?
I go in first gear for 14 hours every day. And that's how you get shit done, man.
Going slow. There you go.
Nobody gets to the top of a mountain in fourth gear. You just can't do it.
No.
Go in first gear all day long, all
Okay.
day long. So that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I just
Absolutely.
get up every morning, throw my Supergirl outfit on, and I'm out the door. And I tell you what, I'm gone all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
so she's Supergirl. Who are you, Sean?
I'm Cowboy Grandpa. I don't know.
See, I thought you know who I thought you were? I thought
What?
you were Sean Wayne.
No, we already know there's a John Wayne and the
No, I
Super-
said Sean Wayne.
Oh,
John Wayne. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Larry, you've been
John
awesome,
Wayne,
man. Thank
yeah.
you. Really.
Yes.
Hey,
There you go.
appreciate it,
Hey,
everybody.
Larry.
Nice
Larry.
meeting you. Nice
I got
meeting you,
a-
folks.
I got a Halloween joke really quick.
Go
Okay.
for
Okay.
it.
All right. I saw this on I thought it was really cute. Why don't monsters eat ghosts?
Why don't monsters eat ghosts?
Yes. Because they taste like sheep.
Like sheets. Ah! Okay, one more. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Why what?
Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Why?
Because they don't have the guts.
Oh,
It only
That's
goes downhill from here.
Good.
Oh
Right, so you're not
Lord, we're
missing anything.
really,
Oh,
really going down now. No reserve or
I just-
anything. Damn.
I gotta rat you out. I gotta rat my buddy out.
Go for it.
Dan must have been flying for about an hour and a half. Guess what?
What?
He's got to go pee.
I've got
I get a text message.
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Bladder
Dude, you
control,
gotta get that
man.
bladder
Bladder
looked at.
control.
Well, I hope to meet
That's
you
what
folks
happens
in
when you
person.
get old.
Come
Yeah.
on down.
all right.
Come on down.
Definitely.
Yep.
Thank
Fly
you,
safe,
Larry,
everybody.
buddy.
yeah.
Have a good one,
All right.
man.
All right.
Thanks, Larry.
You bet.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Yeah.
Since this is obviously a dad joke night, so why
you
wouldn't the ghost dance at the party? Because he had no
Why?
body to dance with him.
Oh, God.
One is better. And I didn't like that one. So the sheet one, I'm going to vote for the sheet one.
So okay, all right. So where does a ghost go on vacation? Malibu.
Oh, God.
What, are y'all reading these off Laffy Taffy or something?
Something.
What? All right. What's in a ghost nose? Boogers.
Hey,
I like that one.
hey, Dan, you know they've got those little what do you call them? Condom things.
Oh yeah,
Things that
yeah, the little catheter things. I
Yeah,
looked into it, man. I would rather take the opportunity to outland somewhere, take care of business, and get a second flight in for the day.
Yes.
Yep.
Funny.
Oh, gosh.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, what does
Sweat
a
it out, or I just don't think about it.
or just let it go. Just let it rain. Let everybody else deal
Right
with
into
it.
my prop, no, or all over me. That's not
It'll
good.
be fine.
Don't worry about
You
it.
need
Then
to
you can just
master
go.
the reverse
Just go-
riser twist before you can do that.
There you go. Or go.
That would
foot
be
drag.
cool. That'd be a stream to remember right there.
A stream to remember. Yeah, just go in foot drag and let everything go, man.
It was the river, I promised.
Yeah. It's raining.
All right. What does a panda ghost eat? Bamboo.
Oh,
God.
they're getting worse. So you must be like going down the list instead of up the list.
But okay. Everyone knows this one. What is a ghost's favorite dessert? Ice cream. Come on, you should have known that.
Okay,
one.
all right. That was funny back
All
then.
right, yeah, that's hilarious. Any other one?
Let's see.
I don't know, but I wasn't kidding when I said it was going downhill after Linda. She really did have the. They taste like sheet.
I know. That
I
was a
predict
good
a
one.
lot
Huh?
of trick or treaters tomorrow because we're in a new neighborhood with a lot of kids. So I'm expecting a lot tomorrow.
Just turn the lights out, man. Close the window.
I
Turn the
expect to
lights
get.
off.
I expect to get a lot fatter by tomorrow night. I don't know why, because there's candy everywhere in the house. So
We have a boatload of candy. I'm trying not to eat it, but it's
Sorry, kid. We ain't got no candy. We ain't got
Right.
candy left.
Somebody
sorry,
got it all.
I ain't got no candy. All right. Well, it is 9:20. We had a really good evening. Larry was just the bomb. I mean, he was hilarious. And obviously, with pairing with Daniel, that was freaking awesome. I had
You
a
guys
blast.
couldn't have picked a better person. Larry can talk, and he's got plenty more stories.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the
Yeah.
stuff that we talked about on the pre-show, I got a whole list that we haven't even talked about yet. So we're gonna have to have him come back for part 2 because there's so many more cool things that he talked about that he wanted to talk about. So
Yeah, I saw it like when I found him on Facebook, last year. I guess it was last year when I found him on Facebook, and I read his bio, whatever, how they put about him or whatever. And I was like, this guy is awesome. I got to get him. Yeah, I got to get him on the show. So finally did. So I was pretty excited. I knew you guys would like him. He had so much there, so much,
yeah.
gosh, so many stories. I knew
Will,
he
do
had
you think you're
stories.
done flying for the year, or do you have more stuff planned?
Nothing planned right now.
Done
Nothing
for
planned.
the year. Wait, what?
I'm not done for the year.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, depending on how cold the weather gets, I'm just wondering if people think, oh, that's probably going to be because I know,
No.
especially here and where Will lives, it's about to drop temperature big time in the next few days. I
Heated
think what,
gloves.
It's going to be in the 20s next week, and I plan on flying.
Yeah.
hell
It's gonna be in
yeah.
the 20s here next week, and I will not fly. No.
Videotape that, them icicles. I want to see that.
I'm gonna fly. I don't care if I have icicles coming out my nose. I'm gonna fly all the time. I mean, unless it's raining or snowing, or hurricanes or tornadoes.
See Sean's next video. This is how you spot land with your motor out with icicles on it.
Yeah.
It's not so bad when
See
you learn how to
icicles
fly
coming
in
off his
October
throttle.
and you fly all winter long your very first year. It makes things a lot easy.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's true. I mean, my first year, I would fly pretty much any temperature, because I wanted it bad enough. But
I still want it bad enough. Even after all these years, I still want it. I still want it.
really,
Yeah. Really?
There
And
you
you
go.
don't? Come
I mean,
on.
I went and bought the stuff. I got thermals, heated gloves, jacket. I'm gonna have to try it.
You
I'll
always
get in,
need
but
a
I'm gonna
release
try it.
from reality, no matter what's going on.
I got to ask the last couple people that are probably still listening to us in the super chat, please let us know, are you going to be flying during the wintertime? What is your lowest temperature that you'll fly? Are you done for the year? Come on, give me a break. I'm never done for the year.
no, I am not done for the year. I mean,
No.
we still have temperature. Temperature is going to rise and
Yeah.
stuff, and you get more opportunities a lot of times in the winter to fly during the day too.
Yes,
So-
like all
Right.
day flights because you get a good overcast and you get that warm inversion layer. You go up there and you can fly all day long and you'd be like, you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Well, that's me. I don't know about you guys, but will you guys fly during the winter time? What's your lowest temperature that you'll fly? What kind of warm weather gear do you have? Because I tell you what, if I don't have enough warm weather gear, I'm going to go get some more. I think I'm going to try to go get that flight suit. I'm going to fly a lot.
The blue sky blue white suit.
Yeah, I'm going to walk out my door with a cup of coffee, warm my hands up, put on my electric gloves, put on my stuff, and go fly. And invite Kevin over. It's only 3 hours away. Get over here, man.
Well,
I've
it's
heard
this
really good
model.
things about the Black Hawk flight suit.
Blackhawk. I haven't seen their flight suit yet. I know Kangook's got a nice flight suit that I saw they had. If it drops below 40, it's going to be kind of a call on it. If it looks beautiful outside, I'll probably do it just because it's nice. But if it's one of them dreary, gloomy days, I don't know if I'd want to go out in one of those. But if it's nice, hell, I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes the days that look bad are the smoothest air you'd ever fly in.
You're
Yeah.
right. And I mean, I agree completely. I mean, you get an overcast day and you don't have any thermals, you're good to go. But I guess it'll just depend.
Sometimes you're able to get up where you have that big cloud layer. There's cloud layer over here, but nothing over this way. And all you see is waterfall clouds with waterfalls just coming off as you're flying by. Obviously you can still see the ground. You're still 2,000 feet away from it, but man, the beauty of it is just absolutely amazing when you can fly and see these big clouds just like waterfalls coming off of it. I mean, obviously
what was that thing they were doing in Australia, which I didn't know there
No.
was such a thing. It's called a glory hole or something.
Hey, now
It's
this is a
basically
family
a
show.
just a straight wall of cloud. No, I don't know. It's a glory something. And
This is a family show, sir.
Australia, man.
Sir, I don't know what channels you've been watching on YouTube, but that's not Paramotor, sir.
Wrong show, man.
They have wing patches for that problem.
never mind. Anyways, yeah, they fly. It's basically a straight line of clouds, and they have to get over it to where they can just basically thermal across the entire continent of Australia. If they float along with the cloud all the way across the continent.
I didn't hear
watched a
anything you said
documentary
after
on that.
Glory Hole.
Yeah,
I didn't
Glory
hear
hole.
I didn't hear nothing you said. I'm sorry.
I know it's not that. I don't know why that one popped in my head, but
I don't want to look at
It
your
must be
browser
that time
history
of
either.
night.
fly the glory hole. It's awesome.
Sir.
Okay.
I have watched a documentary on that cloud that you're talking about, and that thing looks scary. But
It does. It
like
looks
an amazing
really
adventure
scary.
to fly.
It's overwhelming how huge that cloud was. And I was like, wow, I can't believe they were doing that. Yeah, that's what I watched, Daniel. Same thing.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly large, and
Is it like cloud suck? Is that what we're talking about? I mean, I know where you guys are going with that, but that's what
Can't
it's
get
called.
stuck in that wheel. I'm just saying.
Thank God for editing.
Don't say that.
there's no
I
editing.
already-
This is live,
I
man.
already dug
We're still
myself in
live.
deep.
This
All
is live, man. Ah.
Maybe I shouldn't have taken that mask off.
Sorry, I had a brief glimpse in mind. I don't know what happened there. Why can't I think of what that was called? I don't know, but they
It was a
they
good
did
looking
it.
cloud.
Glory cloud? No, they called it something else.
Water from
Morning
Australia.
glory? No, it was
Morning
something.
cloud in Queensland, NT Easter Aussie, Australia, Eastern Australia.
Glory cloud. Okay, well there you go. Thanks, Walter, because I got it all wrong apparently. just
Cloud,
by a little
hole,
bit.
Same thing.
Comes in from the ocean.
Of course it does.
Yep.
You guys. You guys.
What?
Well, it's apparently rare, and they were all waiting to catch this thing, and it's a pretty cool documentary that you can watch.
There ain't no way to walk it back, man. The more you talk, I mean,
The more you keep saying, the deeper you go.
There's usually a
You
line
said
somewhere.
deeper, really? All right. Anyway, I didn't go that far. Morning glory is correct. See the morning glory.
yeah, that's right. That's what he says. Morning glory is correct, Scuba.
All right. So I got a little bit off.
I still couldn't tell you what the morning glory is, though.
Yeah, it's a rare cloud formation that basically has a lot of lift in the front of it, but you have to catch it at the right spot.
Oh,
Or
the
you get-
waves.
Or you get cloud suck and you get
Yes,
sucked
the
up.
giant wave cloud.
Yeah, okay, I have seen that. That is cool.
See, and y'all are just blowing it way off.
Oh my gosh, come
way off.
on. Come on.
I
did
have
that one
seen
on
that, and that is
purpose.
really cool looking.
Yeah,
but I think
they
it was
just
like
ride the
sailplane.
top of that cloud all the way across. I mean, they can go freaking 100, 200 miles just riding that thermal all the way.
Yeah.
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 It looked
No,
awesome.
show it for us. Show it on the screen.
Show
Before I
it.
pass out laughing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Will's got it? Okay, good.
Hopefully.
It
Yeah.
looks like it almost looks like a front that's coming in. It's literally just a wall of a gigantic cloud straight across. It's huge.
Like a wall cloud.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
it?
Okay. This is what I saw, and it's like sailplanes would I need the pictures though. You're right with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you could do that with a paramotor or not. If you could go, I don't know. That'd be really cool. I wouldn't do it though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've ran
I haven't
across
seen
some
any
videos
formations
about
like
it.
that around here. I don't know if I don't think it's specifically for just Australia, but catching one like would probably just be as rare as it is there. Here, you know.
I just want to see like pictures.
Yeah. Okay. It's coming here.
Oh god.
All right. No, that's
Sorry, I'm watching my Detroit Lions are playing tonight, so I'm kind of like
Football season already? Oh, man.
all right.
I'm one of those dudes that just I really don't get into football. I may watch the Super Bowl. That's
I'm not
about-
either. So are we looking at any of these? This is what we're looking at right here. This the circle thing.
No, the
not the
waves.
circle thing. The mainly the one that says morning glory cloud. You see how that is?
Oh, these big
That's
these right here. Yeah, I've seen that one time when flying. That was it.
one time. Okay. Yeah. So right there, that
Oh,
one that
but-
says
I see it.
the morning glory cloud phenomenon. They'll
Yeah.
get right over the front of that. You have to judge it correctly and get over the top of it. And then they just ride that cloud all the way across the freaking whole continent if they wanted to. Yeah, that looks like a great morning glory there, Will. Yeah, they just get up over the top of that and
It
just
looks
ride it.
terrifying.
Cool.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Wow.
I mean,
I
for
could-
us, I think it would be.
If you
I
hit
could do
it
a cool,
wrong, you
I could
get
do a
dumped straight
training.
almost to the ground. I mean, it'll dump you at least to about 50 feet above the ground before you can pull out of it. So that's why it's so dangerous to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, I see somebody down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at the waves.
Yeah.
The one that
Yeah.
had like the several like what waves. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one that they called in Australia was instead of it having multiple, oh, that one's perfect, was just one solid cloud. Like
I was
that.
on
Looked
I was
just
on the
like that.
ground when one of these things passed, and the storm front was insane. Like I wouldn't have wanted to be up there or get down close where that gust front was, because it was insane on the ground. I
It
got
reminds
video.
me of a standing lenticular cloud, like what forms over like a high ridge with fast moving air. The cloud forms and then dissipates that quickly with high wind. It's almost what it looks like.
Yeah, they get above the center of that cloud and literally can just turn their motor off and just glide all the way across the state. It's amazing the way that the air works over those things. I've not seen one
All
here.
these pictures with these gliders and things
Yeah.
flying over them is just crazy. That is pretty neat.
Yeah, so if you ever see one of those and you can catch it right, you could fly to another state if you can follow the thing all the way across.
I choose you, Steve.
Yeah, well, she said you're not allowed.
You know what? I mean, that would be pretty interesting to do. I mean, if you were up there and you were prepared for something like that, to be up there for hours upon hours, I think it'd be a once in a lifetime.
Oh yeah, those
to
guys in
do.
Australia were waiting for that. They were just sitting there waiting, looking for this one specific, morning glory cloud to where they could get up and do it. And as soon as it came, I think 4 of them took off, and the last guy waited 2 minutes too long. He was too late to catch the right spot. The other guys got above it. He was mad. He was torn up about it because he didn't get up there quick enough. Because you can get in the wrong either the suck or the downdraft from that cloud, and you just won't be able to get in there. So it looks cool.
Yeah, I definitely have to spend a lot of money on Uber getting back, but other than that,
yeah.
sounds like fun.
Oh, it's snowing again.
Is it?
You have to
There's
start
no
snowing.
snow here. I mean, we're at 64 degrees now, so yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what the temperature is, but I know it's going to be in the 80s this weekend. However, we're going to a fly-in, a private fly-in this weekend.
Oh, that's good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm sure my Michigander paramotor guys and gals, they at this time of the year or whatever, they head for Florida for the winter. They're like
Which
out of
is
here.
sponsored by Red Bull.
Pack it up. They're like, see ya. Yeah.
I think this is
They're-
Yeah, it's a whopping.
Yeah, the guys I watched in Australia were definitely paramotor pilots, but yeah, hang gliders do it. Any of them guys that can catch that morning glory thing is going to do it.
Maybe we need to go over to Australia and do something like this one of these years.
Good luck with that. Okay.
What do you mean? Good luck with that.
It's expensive to go to Australia. Really expensive.
It's just off the coast of California, isn't it?
But
Yeah. Yeah, right down the road.
Thank you, Sean. I couldn't figure
I
out
heard
how-
Walter has a place to stay.
That's
Oh,
what he
that's
said.
right. Yep.
there you go.
Said, come on down and use my equipment. So I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah. Well,
Well, it's rolling up on 10 o'clock already. So that's
Yeah.
this is one of the longest podcasts that we've had in a while. And it just kept on going and going and going. I really had a good time. And I know that we didn't do a big intro at first. So let's go ahead and do our big intro now. Let's go ahead and start with Butch Fly. Go ahead, Butch Fly. Tell us about you, how to get up with you, and what you do, and all that fun stuff.
Well, you can check me out on YouTube, ppgbutch.com, or you go on YouTube and look up Fly Butch Fly or Butch Fly, either one, and you can find me that way. I can't even think right now. You can also check us out at runintothesky.org and at Paramotor, Arkansas. You can check us out over there.
You can tell he's really tired.
Yeah, I'm really tired, sleepy.
Sean's leaving you hanging, man.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
is. He normally helps me out right here.
Like,
Oh yeah,
here, let me give you my hat.
He's like tired too. You can tell because he's not jumping in there helping me out.
No, you did wonderful. You did wonderful. You did all the .coms. That was awesome.
Sean, is your hair that long already?
Oh no,
Yeah.
no. I have short hair. This is just a wig like
Is
he
that
was
part of the hat? Oh, it's
Yeah,
part of the okay.
part of that.
I was gonna say, man, your hair is really growing fast. since
It
last-
is.
I kept looking at it like, is that his hair?
Yep.
Yeah, I got short hair. You know that.
This is all mine.
Mhm.
It's all mine. No extensions here,
Got more extensions than AT&T.
No
Well, we-
extensions. It's all mine.
Look
Yeah.
at look at Kevin. Kevin's like, what? What's going on? What? No, I am growing. No, this is my hair. I'm growing it out for the Locks of Love. So it's going to go out for. I think it's supposed to be.
Oh, it is your hair then.
Yeah, it's
I
supposed to
thought it
go-
was part of the hat.
Nah, I'm just kidding with you. Yeah, I'm growing out for the Locks of Love. So at 12 inches, it's gonna be clipped and then sent off to Locks of Love. I did that once in my 40s. So hell, I'm in my 50s. I still have hair. Why not try it again, right?
There you go.
Yep. Look at Kevin. See, he could do it. Look at Butch. he could-
I'm gonna do it next time.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we are getting into mustache November, so everybody,
November.
everybody's not, is not, yeah,
I think it's
not
no shave,
shaving.
no shave November.
Yes, that
Yeah,
too.
mustache November.
I think it's
Say
mustache
November sounds
March.
better.
I think it's mustache March.
Something like that. No
Mustache
shave
March.
November, mustache, because the guys now start growing their beards and everything else starts going crazy on their face.
Hey, watch out for that no shave November. You'll end up like this real quick.
Right.
Is that how you started?
And it started out as laziness 10 years ago. Now it's a full blown habit.
Oh, that's
You're like,
right.
might as well
That's
keep
right.
going.
I gotta let this grow out all of November. Ooh.
There you go.
There you go.
I have to color it too a little bit. It got a lot of gray in it. Maybe color it a little bit.
You get a long enough beard as Daniel, you can check your wind direction with it. Just throw your beard out there. Okay, wind blowing that way.
There we go. We could do that.
How funny. Yeah, Sean, you can throw some Grecian formula on there. Right.
That'll work about 2 days before it's all gray again. It's not even worth it to try and color.
Oh, real? Oh, so you
Just-
tried it before.
Just for men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A touch of gray. That's
Any of that stuff you use, especially, I mean, you can do it for your hair, but your beard and mustache grows so fast. But if you color it within 2 days, you need to color it again. It's not even
Just
worth
for jokes is what they need.
Just
to follow.
embrace the gray.
Yeah, there you go. Embrace the
have.
gray.
Yeah, and I think it's not. I don't think it's just for men. I think it's just for them. No.
Yeah.
I don't call it gray that grows on my head. When I go to my hairdresser or whatever, I call it the shiny. It's shiny.
It's shiny.
Can you
Gray.
get rid
Yeah.
of the shiny? Thank you.
Yep, that's what I say. Get rid of the shiny. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
I have more gray in my beard than I do in my hair. Actually, my hair looks pretty dark. I don't have very much gray at all. I've been kind of lucky with that. So if I did shave this and I had the long hair, I'd probably look about 10 years younger. No, I
There
wouldn't.
you go. You could
I
just,
don't
if
know.
you shave your beard and mustache, you look younger. Hell, I'll look like I'm 20 if I did that, but I'm not shaving mine.
I lost 50 pounds. Shave this. Yeah, for sure. I'd look
There you
about
go.
20 years younger. Do I want to do that? It's no shave November. No.
Mustache.
Mustache March. What's
I'm
that?
trying to, Will, I'm trying to picture you in a beard, Will.
Oh, I can grow a beard.
What you look like.
Yeah.
November. He's
The
going
beard.
to.
That
Are you
would
gonna
be
do it?
different to see Will in a beard. I'd be like, what? Yeah, that
Actually,
would be weird.
I can't grow like a beard. I can like do the
Yeah, do like the Snapchat.
Okay.
The
Do a
Snapchat?
yeah.
Do we call that a Snapchat? Is that what that's called now? I thought it was a goatee.
Hold on, Snapchat.
Yeah. You grow a beard, little beard. Yeah, little goatee. There you go.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Goat cheese.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Funny. Anyway,
Any boo.
meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Back at the Paramotor Ranch. All right, guys. Had a good time. Obviously, Butch said goodbye, farewell. Let's go ahead and keep on going that
Oh, yeah,
way.
yeah,
past
sorry.
Butch. Let's go over
I
to
held up the group here.
yeah. Let's go to Scuba Steve. Tell us about your
Scuba Steve, I do a live broadcast on YouTube every Friday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. You can just go to paramotordude.com. That'll take you straight over my YouTube channel, or you can look up Scuba Vapes. I just put up a video that I had a flight on Saturday, which was my first ever trike flight, and it shows, because I'm not afraid to post my mistakes as well as my good flights. So I showed where a couple guys had a couple of bad launches. That's on there, and my terrible trike landing that but I did not hit my truck, so that's all that matters. I didn't hit my truck.
Good job.
But yeah,
You did
come
good.
check us out. We talk about paramotors, we talk about vaping, we try to get people off cigarettes that's been smoking, because I'm a 32-year cigarette smoker. Well, now I've been vaping for 11 years now, so it's really helped me. So if you're a cigarette smoker and you want to try to get off cigarettes, come check us out.
There you go. There you go. And I jump in the chat on Fridays, and then you just never. Now I'm always late, but I jump on the scuba train and Munchkin, and you never know what I'm going to throw in there, and sometimes the topics just go.
Oh my God, the topics go crazy. You never know what we're going to talk about on that show, honestly.
I'm the instigator.
Hey, I like instigation. We
get in there
just
and then
suck
I
it
just
in
start
and spit it right back out at you. There you go.
talking about off the wall things, right?
What?
Like, oh,
Hopefully we'll
Not
have
like, oh, don't say that. We're live.
I know what she said because I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said that. She did. So yeah, just picture that. All right. Or not.
love it.
we're just
I love
hoping
it.
for some internet over at the school. That way we can go to all the different shows every night. We've been missing it because we don't have the internet out there, and cell phone signal kind of sucks.
Skylink.
Is that did you actually cough or is that-
Starlink. My bad.
Skylink. Okay. Starlink. Okay.
Yeah,
you know how much
Starlink.
that is? That's like $500 or $600 just for the
Yeah, for
equipment.
the dish, and then the service is like $100 a month. It's not cheap, but I mean, if you're in a rural area, it's not that bad. Especially if you want to
Yeah.
use it to go to fly-ins, you can just take the dish with you. Because mobile, the good thing about Starlink is you could pause your service. Say you're using your own home internet, and then when you're going to a fly-in, start the service up. Then when you go to that fly-in in another state somewhere far away, you can set your
Yeah.
dish up. Boom, you got internet no matter where you go. That's the cool
But
thing about it.
that's what Robert uses now. He was my Bernie. When he first got in his house and everything, he was using Verizon, and they are horrible. Every time he
Yeah.
was trying to have his show, he kept losing, breaking up all that stuff. And yeah, he ended up just going with Starlink. And yeah, he
Yeah.
said it's not cheap, but it's a lot better for him up there, where he lives. So you
If
don't
my
have-
computer dies, I didn't hang up.
All right, then let's go to you real quick then, Kev.
I'm Kevin from Mississippi.
Hi,
Learning to do fly paramotor from Sean at Paramotor, Arkansas.
You are a pilot now, Kevin.
You are
Yeah.
a pilot.
Yes. Plan on going back and flying again November 10th, 11th, and 12th. So
Hell yeah. I look forward to seeing it, man. I think that's awesome, especially seeing people's first flights. It's just, you can't beat that.
Yeah,
It's
because
Welcome to the
11
addiction. It gets nothing but worse.
It's unexplainable. It's a lot of fun, unexplainable. I just can't I can't put it into words. So
I'm just,
You don't
I
have
feel the
to.
same way. You can't really put it into words to
Mhm.
anybody about the feeling you get. It's not the same as when you fly in a plane. It's just not even close.
yeah.
It's amazing, spectacular, fantastic. All of them rolled into one with a cherry on top and a Tootsie Roll at the back end.
Be careful now. We don't get over to the glory stuff.
Yeah, no Tootsie Rolls in the back end. No,
Zero.
come on. Come
See,
on.
man, y'all had to go there. I was talking.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Will is like, where in the hell are we going with this? All right.
Yeah, I go trick or treat tomorrow, man. Get those Tootsie
Yeah.
Rolls.
I think it's time to eat some chocolate.
Speaking of which, we'll fly.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said Will Fly. I was, we were trying to intro into Will Fly.
No, then you tried to reach for that segue. I know what you're doing there.
Go ahead, Will Fly.
So, anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
find me at willflyppg.com online, or you can search for Will Fly on YouTube. I make paramotor videos. Check it out. And unlike, like Steve, I have no problem posting Steve's downs and fails and
Steve's downtown. That's messed up. I have no problem reposting his mistakes.
it's all a journey. It's all in fun, and we've all made
Yeah.
mistakes, and that's just part of that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Butch
I
might be
think-
Butch might be talking about a mistake one of these days later on, but we won't even
Yeah,
talk about that right now.
Later on, not right now.
Definitely later.
I mean, I think it's good to post stuff like that because everybody can learn from it. You know, it's not
Yeah.
good just to post your great launches and landings.
Yeah.
You need to post the mistakes because people can say, "Oh, I see what he did there. I'm gonna make sure I don't do that." You know, if they can learn from it, then I think it's even better.
But it's also good to have it where you can talk about what you're doing and show the mistake and not just the clip and go, hey, look, I ran into a 747. It's like, no, it's like,
Right.
what happened? How did they come up to that? What
Right.
happened?
Embrace the suck,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
'cause that's how you get better.
almost got sucked into the truck. So yeah.
Gotta be
Thank
careful.
God you didn't. Good Lord, you give Munchkin a heart attack already, going up in the air like you
Yeah, I
do.
wasn't
Poor
about 10
things
feet away
chasing you
from
down
her.
the
so-
field with their phone and trying to videotape you. And I tell you what, she's a keeper. She's a keeper.
We're old and we still say videotape.
Yeah.
I
So,
still say it. I stopped saying VHS, so I'm good at videotape. I just got to keep on bringing it back down to
There
video.
you go.
All those cassettes in your glove box. In
Yeah,
your
we'll
car.
hit you up on your beeper.
Beeper.
I'll MySpace you later, okay?
Yeah.
AOL.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got mail.
Damn. I didn't even notice that Supergirl just switched into her alternate identity without us even paying attention. What the
That's
hell?
how she
happened?
rolls. That's
She went poof.
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not a
Yes,
problem.
Dan.
It's awesome. Good to have you.
Absolutely. Come back anytime.
Yes, Daniel. Daniel, you should be a guest on our show sometime. Hint,
Mm.
hint. I've got all of November open for guests.
Hey.
So you know what I'm saying, Daniel?
What are you doing?
know,
What are you
'cause
doing
now
next
we're
Monday?
friends on Facebook, Daniel, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, what you
It
doing next
all
Monday?
depends on the weather and my work schedule.
Okay.
What
All
about
right.
next
You
Monday?
know where I'm at. You just say, hey, I want to be on your show. Paramount.
Kevin just texted me. He said his computer died, so he's not
Oh.
looking down right now. Do anything? He just froze.
Right.
Oh,
Next Monday might be able to work. I'll keep you guys posted
All
There
right.
you go.
good.
ahead of time.
well, Linda, I think it's
Yeah.
your time. You're next on the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, you're next on the list.
Yeah.
Just saw that video.
Go.
Go, Linda. Go, Linda.
Not
Oh.
to put you on the spot, but go.
I'm next. Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Okay,
your turn.
No, I'm just- hey, it's getting late, okay? No,
Yeah.
this was really fun. Anyway, I'm getting like slap happy here. I want to thank my chatters
all.
and my viewers and everything, for hanging with us tonight and on the pre-Halloween night, spooky. That's really spooky behind you, Will, all night. That's cool. That video behind you. I was,
Cool. You hope it doesn't give you nightmares.
yeah. Oh no. What's giving me nightmares is that devil mask, the demon mask there that Scuba had on. Especially when you went right in the middle of the show and you got in there with your face and you're like,
Yeah, I don't know why he's
The thing was,
spotlighting me, but I was
Scuba-
like, okay.
Scuba's when he's got this mask on, he does this thing with his tongue. It looks
yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah, it freaks her
Mine
out
not
every
good.
time. She'll be like, stop that. She
I know.
freaks her
I
out.
know.
No,
So
it
if
was really scary is seeing Butch with hair.
So another note, if you want to be a guest on my show, just go to ParamontUSA.com and it'll take you right to my Facebook page and just DM me and say, I want to be on your show, Paramount, because you got the best show in the whole week. Yes. So anyway, no, I don't have to say that, but yeah, just let me know. We get you in. We're almost to the end of the year. And so I think in December, maybe we'll just have one of our shows like end of the year party and just all the people that are our guests on our show for the, this whole year, whatever. I'll try round people up for that night. We'll just figure out what night in December we want to do it, just to thank them all for being on our show this year.
Yeah, we'll have about 200 people on our show over the last 4 seasons.
That's right.
Oh, that ought to be interesting.
That's why they call me Supergirl.
Get it done. All right.
Get her done.
Telling
Dan-
you, so fun.
Dan-
No, I love
Daniel,
doing it, and I love you
you're
guys.
next.
And like, it all like I
Daniel
always
don't
say,
have
it
to
takes a
be here.
village. And now we're going on 4 years with the show, and every time I come on here, I learn something new. I meet new people, and I love it. I love it. I just you guys are awesome, and that's why I say I gravitate people that just have have a zest for life. They love what they do, and that's what it's all about. So anyway, so then on Wednesday night, just want to fly, and I can catch Jade Lear and Erik Lear on their show on Wednesday night, and then on Thursday night, via paraglidingtalk.com with my son Robert Michaels is your host, and he always has some really cool guests on his show. So make sure you jump in the chat on Thursday, and I always put a link in on Facebook because I'm the PR, Robert's PR, so I have double duty there. So anyway, thanks everybody. Okay, I'm done now.
All right, everybody put their hats on and look down so we're all the same.
Huh?
For Dan.
You guys crack me up.
For
Oh,
Kevin,
God.
Kevin's still looking down, so,
Oh, I see what you're doing.
That's funny.
there you go. There you go. All right, everybody.
Dan put his hand like that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, look down.
That'd be a
look
good
down.
that would
You
be
got
a good screenshot.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
look
do
down.
it.
So look down. Everybody look down. 1, 2, 3. We got it. All right. Oh no, Kevin's gone. Where'd he go?
I can only put my hand in my
There
face.
you go.
Oh man, he knew what was going on.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious.
I had a good time. Daniel, you want to say anything before we head on out, buddy?
No, I'm all right. I
man.
don't have a .com or into any of that. I've got a Facebook. Go live once in a while on Facebook when I'm flying. Otherwise, I just like to fly.
Excellent. Check out his MySpace and his VHS feed, and make sure you get to his AOL account and say you've got mail.
You got
Put in the
mail.
DVD player.
Hey, so you don't have a .com? Would you like one?
I don't have time for that.
Oh, yes, you do.
If I
Yes,
got
you
time
do,
for that.
Daniel.
That's fine.
Everybody's got time
I got
for
two
a
.coms I'm giving away: paramotorman.com and paramotorguide.com.
Dude, you
Do
gotta
it,
pick
Daniel.
one.
Do it.
I mean, it's free.
And it's free. That's right. Good sales.
What am I
pitch,
going to do
Phil.
with it?
You
It's
say,
free.
hey,
Post
go over to
videos.
paramotorguide.com and it forwards over to whatever whatever
Yeah,
your
it
social
gets
media
Forwards
is.
to your
You
YouTube
can
page
forward
or
to your Facebook page if you don't have a YouTube.
Yeah, you go to if you go to iflyparamotors.com, it goes to my YouTube. Go to ppggrandpa.com, goes to something else.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
So it's
sounds
just
like more work.
Okay.
I didn't have to do anything.
I tried.
John did
tried.
everything. I didn't have to do
tried.
nothing.
They're worth over $1,000 I'm giving away for free. So maybe we'll find somebody that will want one. All right. Well, I had a great evening, y'all, and we'll see you next week? Be
Yes,
there,
happy
be
Halloween,
square.
everybody. Make sure y'all don't be nice to the childrens, even
Don't
the
be
ones that
nice to
don't
the
wear
children?
costumes.
What do you mean don't be nice to the children? Nice to the
No,
children.
I said make sure you're nice to the children.
Oh, the trick-or-treaters.
Yes. Some of them are probably going to show up without wearing costumes, and maybe they can't afford costumes. Don't be like, you weren't even good enough to put on a costume. Don't be that guy.
Who would do that?
It happens.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe it happens. No.
Well, maybe not in your town, but it happens.
Hey, don't happen in my town, partner.
Wayne.
Not in your small town? Okay.
No, and get whooping.
All right, guys. Have a great evening. It's 10 o'clock. Had a great time. We'll see you next week
Dude.
on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast.
Peace.
Peace. I had a blast.